Harrod, Davis, get those scouts off me.
Roger that, Commander.
I'll handle the interceptor. Alright, let's see what you got. Oh, that's not great.
Incoming call from Router.
Been through.
Lena, I trust I haven't caught you at a bad time.
Always got time for you, Ramta. Dig up anything interesting lately?
People dig for me these days, Commander. In fact, I might have something interesting for you. Something suited to your unique talents.
Don't have much time for archaeology these days. I'm kind of busy.
Shame. The past can teach us so much about the present. And my research into the Guardians has uncovered some fascinating finds. But it's the potential technological applications that will interest you. Applications that might help you level the field a little.
Like weapons?
Indeed. All I ask is that you unearth a few dusty old relics for me. It will certainly be safer than fighting Thargoids.
Okay, Ram. You've got my attention. If I do it, I can have my pick of your new toys.
That's right.
All right. Count me in.
Oh, I'm delighted to hear it. Now, when I said it wouldn't be dangerous...
Hello everybody, and welcome to the Elite Dangerous live stream. What an exciting day it is. It is the release of Elite Dangerous 3.0, Elite Dangerous Beyond Chapter 1. What an exciting time.
Yeah, amazing stuff.
It's been a very long time since we've had, a very, very long time since we've had...
What's my name?
Who am I? No, sorry, I wasn't saying. I know Lawrence Oldham. I'll get to you in a second. We'll introduce you in just a moment. No, but like a big major point update. So 2.0, when was 2.0?
2.0? 2.0, my goodness me. It must have been almost a year ago now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Nearly a year ago, or maybe...
Well, more than a year ago. 2.0.
A very long time. Yeah. Either way, what I can do is I can just crack up our volumes just a little bit to make us a little bit louder. I do apologise if we're a little quiet for you, but hopefully that will improve things. But yes, oh gosh, I'm now sorry about this. Oh, gosh, we don't want to be causing people hearing problems and getting feedback. It'll take us a while. Just give us a moment. We'll get there. Turn up your sound on your end as well if you're struggling to hear us, but hopefully we can be a little bit louder for you now. So with me, I'm joined by Lawrence Oldham, Game Director on Elite Dangerous. People may remember you from the Frontier Expo live stream that we did. You were up there talking all about Beyond.
Yep, absolutely.
Which was a wonderful event. Really enjoyed doing that as well. So what is Beyond and what are we doing here today?
Yep. So obviously we've kind of come to the end of Horizons, having delivered all the great stuff with that, and we were asking ourselves, we mentioned in Frontier Expo, what's next for Elite? What are the things that we really think kind of make the game? So there were kind of three areas that we outlined. So what you've just been seeing, which was obviously narrative. Narrative is one of the great things in Elite that everybody joins in, everybody participates in. It's a growing narrative that evolves with the players. So as you've seen a little bit more about Ramtar there, obviously people have been engaging in a CG, bringing back ancient artifacts for him to look at and examine. Clearly he's found out some interesting and exciting things that will be being followed up on. So that was obviously just one of the aspects, was this new narrative, or continuing the narrative with the many threads that all join together. So I think we're going to start to see how some of the connections between connections between these disparate threads. But then obviously there's a core game. So with the stuff that obviously you guys have been really engaging, and it's been incredibly useful having all of this forum feedback. So one of my big takeaways, I think, was how amazing it is that working with you guys on the forums, especially with Sandy reaching out to you, finding out what's going on, helping to evolve and define these features, dealing with some really tricky and challenging problems, about how to get what's already a great game even better. So it's sort of building on the roots of the stuff. So all the stuff that we've been doing to try and improve the crime, the stuff that people have been asking for, the changes and the modifications for the engineers. And there is so much in here. And obviously they're not just changes, we've also got some great new features coming out there. So we've kind of got all the kind of Galnet audio stuff that's gone in, which is really exciting, sounds great. Obviously makes it much easier again to digest different parts of the story. So none of these things are really separate. They all kind of work together.
Everything, all of these things work together to make Elite Dangerous and its core experience.
And as I say, the guys have been working so hard, and it's always amazing to see what they've managed to produce, what they've pulled out of the bag.
In case they're watching, any of the developers, get back to work now. I'm joking. It's amazing, and I think everybody in the chat as well. A big round of applause, please, for the developers who've pulled out so hard with this. Yeah. And we'll meet some of them today. Really quickly, if you don't mind me just jumping
absolutely.
in. We have. Now that I seem to have got the sound all right for people, which is great. It's a lovely thing that I love to tackle with every time we come live on these streams, is getting that sound just right. Is anyone a sound engineer at home? You want to apply for a job? No, I'm joking. So we have lots of dev guests coming on today. We're going to be here for the next 3 hours talking to various developers about 3.0, about the content in there. We're going to be showing off some of the gameplay. We're going to be giving away. We've got lots of giveaways. We're going to have some signed posters, some new stuff that's coming to the store that we're going to be giving away, and of course you're going to get to hear from Sandy, Lawrence, game director. There'll be Steve Kirby, Adam Woods, Eddie Simons, the long return of Eddie Simons, Steve Kirby. I said that already, didn't I? Yeah, and we're going to have Will here, and it's going to be a great old time. So do stick around for the next few hours. But Lawrence, again, I interrupted. I just wanted to make sure that people were aware of what we were doing. Continue.
So obviously, Beyond is a series of updates. This is the first and probably the one of the major contents, but it's a stepping stone. So you'll see in here, hopefully you will see some great work that the artists have done on the planets, recolouring them, giving them much more depth and contrast, and so that you can also kind of make out some of the kind of the geological kind of features in there. So I think that's a great improvement, but that's just a small step towards what we're aiming for at the kind of the larger Q4 update, as we were mentioning in there. So this is kind of, as I say, a stepping stone towards these much bigger feature changes that we're going to be discussing with you, just like we've been discussing the crime stuff and getting all your feedback, digesting it and working that through to see how we can make the game better, stronger, and more amazing, absolutely, for everybody that's out there. Obviously, in between that, we've still got the 2 great content updates, which, as I say, are lighter than this because they're allowing the team to really focus on these kind of big, challenging problems, like as you mentioned, looking into squadrons and exciting things like that we can be getting into. However, I would say the most important stuff is obviously what's coming out there today.
Later on today.
Obviously,
it's like
some great new chieftain ship being out there. Very exciting, great looking ship. Obviously all the trade data changes, which is kind of something that I'm very personally kind of keen on. It's one of the areas that we really hadn't developed for a very long time since the start of the game, fiddling with some numbers, but we've obviously now got a much clearer way of looking at and showing the data. But all of these things, as I say, it's not the end of, this is just another step on them. There's a lot more as we continue to kind of iterate on them. I mean, as Sandy will kind of go through with some of the sort of crime stuff we're putting out there, it's something that we're putting out and it will evolve, it will change. It's not, here it is, set in stone. That's the great thing about Elite, is it's a live game. We can continue to modify it, we can continue to update it, and we can continue to build on it in the appropriate ways. Which is really kind of refreshing, as I say, with the Beyond series, whereas before we had a load of great and exciting promises that we've made, whereas here we're a little bit more agile, to kind of live and look at what does the game really need, what are you guys out there, looking for, and what can we provide that's going to kind of make the most out of this amazing thing that you are building with us. That's the great.
It's interesting. We talk quite a lot with I talk quite a lot with streamers and do some interviews with Live Radio and people like that. And we've talked about this in the past, but honestly, the level of commitment these guys in the dev team, and this is game director Lawrence here, have to getting the communities feedback and implementing the community's feedback is so high. The level of dedication you've got to that, and I've said I'm often in meetings with you discussing these things and with the dev team and things because they really do care about hearing your opinions, and that's what we do in the CM team. We try to make sure that voice is heard, and so as a studio, Frontier is really working to, and I think 3.0 is an indication of that working in practice. Yeah. So it's been a great thing.
And obviously there's some great, slightly more hidden stuff as well. So Howard's been doing a lot. Well, not as in secret hidden, but it's stuff that goes on behind the scenes. This bad terminology, apologies.
Well, yeah.
Brilliant revelations, no. So Howard has been working really hard to get a load of new information out to the third-party devs so that they can really improve the tools that they're providing to you working with us. Yeah, because we absolutely appreciate what they're doing and what they're able to facilitate for the community that maybe we don't have as much time to look into. So there's some really exciting, juicy stuff that hopefully they'll be picking up on and creating some new exciting things out of as well. So it's not just us. Again, it's very much about what the community can do and what the
Brilliant. Excellent stuff. So just to go into a little bit of details, because today's going to be a bit more of a. So I do have the game here, and we are able to. We are going to be showing off. We've got a build that is basically a sort of behind-the-scenes build that nobody else has access to. So there might be a few things that we show off in this that aren't exactly how they'll appear in the main game. So I think we're going to be demonstrating today some of the stuff such as the megaship interactions and things like that, and showing off the chieftain as we're in a chieftain right now. But it might be slightly changed, like some of the systems might have been moved around a little bit for ease of demonstration. That's just a bit of a disclaimer. But it's going to be a bit more of a sort of relaxed, laid back in terms of how we're playing around. It's going to be more about discussions with the developers. So, with that in mind, Lawrence, what is it to be a game director? What does a game director do?
So, obviously,
it's a cool title, by the way.
It's an amazing job, again, of working with amazing people. But what I try to do is coordinate all of the desires and wishes of everyone. So I spend a lot of time talking, which is easy because in the end, everybody wants a great game. Yeah, there's nobody in there with sort of weird machinations trying to kind of plot like some giant spider in the background. So I try and take the information from the forums, from customer services, from you guys, from obviously the community, and look at them all and weigh them all up. And we've talked with David, and we then provide huge lists.
Yeah, because you work very closely with David, of course, as well.
Absolutely. So I'll be working with David and sort of making sure that we're aligned in the vision. We understand where we're going, why we're doing it, and he always has some really great feedback. I mean, he is elite still. He's absolutely still the core of elite. He's hugely interested in all the narrative stuff and obviously all of the sort of science and the kind of amazing coding systems that I can't even get my head around that create an entire galaxy. So I do a lot of that. I look at an awful lot of spreadsheets. Really exciting. I love spreadsheets. But obviously, when we're dealing with a game that's so vast, a lot of it is about numbers and data, and it's looking at and assessing that data. Also, kind of looking at what's happening with the servers to get different information points. So it's trying to get as much information as we can about any aspect of the game, so that when we're approaching it and looking at it, we have all the information we need to make the best possible decision with how we're using the time and the resources that we've got. Obviously, sadly, we can't please everybody, and I'm sure we'd all love to do many things that we just don't have time to do, but it's ensuring that we get the right priorities, and that's my challenge, shall we say, is to attempt to try and get what the right priorities, and then look at what emerges. So not everything always runs perfectly smoothly. Shock horror. Then I will be the person that tries to work through what are the options that we've got when something isn't quite as we'd expect it to be. How much do we put into this, and how, and what are we risking? By doing that. So I have to try and make kind of decisions, obviously with the help of all of these amazing people. So it's not me on my own. It makes me sound like I'm completely in charge of it all and it's all on my back. No, I just facilitate these amazing people I'm working with.
And can I say, Lawrence, as well, and this comes from the bottom of my heart, and these people, a lot of these people will know who I am and hopefully trust some of the things I say. But Lawrence does an incredible job at what he does and has a lot of responsibilities shared with the whole studio, of course, but you are very good at what you do, and I I'm a bit sick. I'm sorry. I've got the sniffles today, so if I get
Not
emotional,
just my
that's why.
presence,
Yeah,
it's-
no. If I get emotional, that's why. No, I'm joking. You are a pleasure to work with, and it's always really fun to be in meetings with you because you're always like so switched on and astute with the things that you say. So please, a round of applause for Lawrence, one of the unsung heroes.
There are many.
There are so many unsung heroes.
Standing on the shoulders of giants, as they say.
Absolutely.
That's what I do.
There's a lot of love here at Frontier Developments between everybody who works here, and I think Lawrence deserves some. So do give some shout outs for Lawrence in the chat for all the amazing work that he does. And we're going to do a giveaway as well. So what would you like people to say in the chat? So we've got lots of giveaways today, including at the end of the stream, we're going to give away 2 of these signed copies. They're going to be signed by everybody who's been on the stream as well. So if you could sign these for me first of all.
Okay.
I'm sure you had lots of things that you want to say, but we've run out of time. We're running out of time because we're trying to bring more developers on. But yeah, here's the first giveaway is going to be. So Lawrence is signing that now for you.
Yeah.
The
Blank
first
check.
giveaway. It's not a blank check. Don't promise. What have we learned about promising things to the community, Lawrence? I'm trying to look for the picture that I saved earlier of this very thing that we're giving away. I've very effectively saved it to my desktop.
What?
Here it is. There's the bottom one. So I'm going to drag it in here so you can see it on the screen. So these are white lights, and apparently they've appeared in the store today.
Oh, amazing.
So
Excellent.
these are, because of course the Christmas ones are already in there. So these are the white lights that you can get. So I would, what would you like people to say in the chat? And then I'll pick somebody at random who said that in the chat.
Oh my word.
Yeah,
He's thrown at me now.
Sorry.
So
So what do you reckon? We'll give 2 of them away.
no.
No? We could just say white.
Chieftain?
Just say chieftain! Exclamation mark.
Yeah.
Fine.
Why not
I put you on the spot, Lawrence. I should have.
Yeah. You should have prepped me. It's a terrible suggestion.
All right. Chieftain! Exclamation mark. So put it in the chat, and then I'll pick 2 people at random to win. So Lawrence, have you got anything that you want to say before we move on and say a huge thank you?
Beyond a huge thanks to all of the community and especially the guys that have been engaging with us on the forums and throughout the beta, that their help has been absolutely invaluable, and they are making the game a far better game for everybody.
Absolutely, thank you very much, and that's wonderful. So we are going to go to, I'm going to pick somebody at random now, so stop saying it once you've said it once. And then we're going to pick somebody around. There's lots more giveaways as well. Every dev's going to have a different giveaway that we do. I think we've got 5 different sections coming up over the next couple of hours. And then, of course, at the end, the signed posters as well. So stop saying it now. Oh, worth noticing as well, of course, the servers went down at around 9:30 this morning, and on the forums we have said that there is going to be around about approximately 9 hours of downtime. Yeah. I can't do the maths. Like I said, I'm a little bit sick today, so my brain is operating at about 50%. So thanks for bearing with me today. And then we have, as well, if you want to go on the forums, if you want a written version of what we're going to be talking about today, and we're going to be kind of brief and a little bit laid back today with this, but there's a written version of all of the features and how they will appear in 3.0. That's on the forum. You can find that in, I think, in news and updates, news bulletins. You can find it in there, have a look on there, and it's got a written version of how all of the features coming to 3.0 will appear in 3.0. Then, and some information on the Kill Run Scanner, which we're going to talk about with Sandy when he comes on later. Also, there's a streaming schedule as well. I think that's under dangerous discussion. It's on the forums. It's a schedule of all the streamers who are playing tonight. If you aren't on there and you are a streamer, please do get in touch, community@frontier.co.uk, and we will add you to that list. There's also the changelog and the patch notes out there, and of course, we're going to be here for the next few hours. I don't think we're going to run up right until the release, but we are going to be here for the next few hours while the developers are in the office, which is great. All right, stop saying it. I'm going to pick at random. I'm going to do my very scientific method of random number generator. Random number Google. No, it's not working. Random number. Yeah, that's why you know it's real, because I'm making mistakes between 1 and... Oh, that's because that's spelled wrong. And then we're going to go enter. Thank you for bearing with me, Lawrence.
That's fine. All right.
Okay, here we go.
What have we got?
We've got
1, 2, 3.
123. Which is only a few steps away.
Oh my goodness.
J May. J space May.
Well done.
So to claim your prize, what you need to do is email community@frontier.co.uk with "I won the white light" in the subject header. You also need to PM me this YouTube channel from your account, your YouTube channel account to this YouTube channel account. That way we can verify that it's you and you're not somebody else trying to steal the prize from you. Just an odd phrase. But thank you so much, and congratulations to everybody who got involved, and congratulations to J May. Well done. More giveaways coming up. Lawrence, thank you so much again. Will you come back on a live stream in the future?
Absolutely.
Very good.
It was a great time.
Right, we're going to the back screen, and then we've got our next set of guests with the return of the Ad and Eddie show, which is a lot of fun. Adam Woods and Eddie Simons coming on for the first time in a while. So we'll see you in just a second. Just realised that we were actually picking 2 winners, so I'm going to pick another one. Random number generator. Wow. Somebody reminded me. And we're going to go
49.
Yeah. 2. Sorry about that. You're absolutely right. Don't worry about that. And then clicking. Very scientific method. Griffin of Steel. The Griffin of Steel. Well done, the Griffin of Steel. So if you could do the same thing, please email community@frontier.co.uk and also send us a PM from your YouTube account to this YouTube account. Thank you very much. That is the white string lights. And if you didn't win, they're on the store now. see you in a minute. Hello and welcome. We are back, and we're going to shuffle around on the camera. Shuffle,
Right.
shuffle.
Peek behind the curtain and you will see the wizard.
Well, the fair de lance that we're in here is
It's
a
very
little,
spacious. It's really cramped.
It's
isn't
weird
it,
that we would really try and cram
big.
in front of the camera. But yeah, hey everyone, welcome
Hi.
back. Thank you so much for joining us again here at the Elite Dangerous live stream. Today we are, of course, launching 3.0 Elite Dangerous Beyond Chapter 1. How exciting!
Really exciting.
2.0 was over a year and a half ago, as Lawrence says.
Yeah.
Is that right? A year and a half?
Yeah. It was. Yeah, it was.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. And this is the first time we've done this for a long time, chaps. The Ad,
An Eddie
and
show.
Eddie show. Which
Lovely,
is
isn't it?
really lovely that we've
It's
not
really
done it. Why
lovely.
have we not done this for such a long time? I'm going to blame Eddie Simons.
Yeah, me too.
And the reason why I'm blaming Eddie Simons is because
I've done more in between.
you've done more
I've done
streams.
more.
No, I'm joking. It's fine. But here we are with Eddie Simons, producer on Elite Dangerous.
Can I just recently promoted to
Recently
senior
promoted.
producer?
Senior producer, senior community manager.
All the seniors.
Senior,
Old and frail.
all the old men of the building.
Get a part to bitty.
Yeah, so thank you so much. Eddie, what do you do?
I produce things. Usually the things that we can't say anything about until a bit later. Not quite so much this time.
Yeah.
So this time there has been a few things that I've been working on, which we have been able to talk about, like Megaship interactions and so on. But yeah, a lot of the things that I've worked on, like in the last year or so, are things which were like hidden for a little while, like the the starport damage stuff, that was sort of one of the things that I was looking after, and obviously we couldn't really talk about that initially because we didn't want to spoil the surprise or anything. But yeah, so
you were really excited about that as well.
Yeah.
I remember
very,
you were just
very
like,
cool
"This
stuff.
is so amazing."
Yeah.
What
So
about
I was
yourself, Adam?
desperate to talk about it, but you know.
And I'm going to say it's the reason why people haven't seen Eddie for a long time is because the features that
hidden
we've
them
had
away.
to launch have been the stuff that are kind of secret behind closed doors. But 3.0 though, that's exciting.
Yeah.
So what are you most excited about 3.0?
For me, it's the big ones. It's the engineering updates. I think that's super cool because it's just, you know, everything is an improvement. With a material trader, you can shorten your little loops around there and just get in and engineer your modules. Sorry, a little moment there. Senior moment, maybe. And obviously with the material trader, there's a really nice little package of things around engineering and materials. With the engineering, with the material trader, with the per material storage caps, and all these sorts of things that make that a really nice little section. On top of that beast of a ship, the Chieftain is.
I was having a look if my livery was full of paint jobs, but because apparently there's some new paint jobs out for the Chieftain today, believe it or not, which is very good. But apparently they're not working for me, which is wonderful. It must be because it's the private test area that we've got set up.
Actually, yeah, it probably is.
Yeah. Brilliant. So, but yeah. It's an exciting time to be an Elite Dangerous player. So.
Also, I would just like to point out that the trailer you started the stream with, I hadn't actually seen that yet. That was the first time I saw it, and wow.
And there's a little nod to some of our community members in that trailer, and I'm wondering if they found them already.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
I want them to find them themselves, though. I was going to not say anything, but then I just said it, didn't I? That's stupid. I feel silly.
Play the shots game, someone says. Drink every time they say exciting. Oh, we don't get involved in those games, though, do we?
No, we don't.
But I mean,
but I can see how that would be an exciting thing
yeah.
if somebody was playing.
It would.
But
I think
we
if
don't-
someone
we don't do
liked
those
to have
sorts of
shots,
things.
they would find that a very exciting game to play.
Yeah. In a minute, we are going to have Chris Gregory coming on to talk all about the art behind some of the planets and some of the hard work that the guys did on updating the visual of the planets.
Yeah.
And also, he's going to talk through the design of the Chieftain as well, which is going to be really, really cool. But for you guys, what are the? I can see you brought some notes with you, Eddie.
No, they're my notes.
These are Adam's notes.
Which I'm not allowed to look at yet.
Well, what time? So Chris is coming on at 3, which is we've got like a good half an hour to play through some stuff. So what should we touch on? What should we talk about right now that's coming in case? So what we're going to do is a little bit of a thing where we're going to sort of imagine if none of you, or maybe imagine there might be some of you amongst you that haven't actually heard about what 3.0 is. Right?
Yeah.
So why don't we go into some details about what some of the new features are? Eddie, would you like to begin on some of the stuff that you worked on? For example, wasn't it wing missions one of your things? Or
No,
I've just got
that
that
was-
wrong. Adam,
that was
sorry,
Mr.
I knew it was
Woods.
one of you two. Yeah.
Yeah.
So why don't we talk a bit about wing missions?
Okay, so in chapter 1, you're going to be able to share some of the missions we've created for you guys. So we've got delivery, we've got courier, we've got assassination. Something else, I think, if I remember rightly. I've moved on to the next update, so this is trying to dredge back the chapter 1 stuff. So bear with me. But yeah, you can accept one of these wing missions, share them with up to 4 players within the wing, and then all get involved with helping out and completing the mission. Everyone gets the reward choice as well. So as part of that, we have the mission reward choices in chapter 1. So it's no longer just set out what you're going to get. You get a choice. Everyone in the wing mission will get a choice depending on what the choices are available. And in particular, with the delivery and the courier style missions, we've also added the mission depot. So with wing missions, of course, it's really easy to shift 4 tons in 4 ships, right?
Yeah.
But it's not so easy when there's we want large volumes of things moved around, and these missions allow us to do that. And to do it piecemeal, we have the mission depot. So now you can access the depot to pick up if it's a delivery mission and drop off, or just drop off if it's the courier one. And everyone can get involved. They pick them up. You can see, which I think is really nice in real time, how much all the other wing members have got in their hold and how much they've delivered. And then you can drop it off and see if you can complete the mission. But you can also, to try and safeguards around certain things. You can do partial complete as well. So if you run out of time, or you just need to, you haven't quite got enough time to finish it off, within a few constraints, you've collected everything, you've partially delivered as much as the mission needs. You can do a partial complete, and people can just move on and have a look. And you can share up to. You can only ever share one mission with the wing, but each person in the wing can share a mission. So you can have 4 wing missions active within one wing at once. That's right, Adam says.
Adam says. I just wanted to spend 1 second really quickly, and I'm hoping people can hear this at home. I'm going to turn up the volume just a little bit because I want to play something here. I hope you can hear the volume of the game. You can't. I can. That's why I put this on. But I was wondering if you can hear this.
Frameshift drive charging.
It's the new Kovas.
Oh, have you got
Celeste?
Huh?
Let's
What?
have a listen. Let's have a listen. She's just got a slight tweak to her, the way she speaks, and I just wanted to get people to hear that. And that's available on the store now. Again, I am starting to feel a little bit like a QVC, somebody who works at QVC, which is fine.
Are we low
We've
on
always
stock?
said that.
Stocks are running low. If you want that now, get it in now.
Exactly. They're flying off the
Oh,
shelves.
what is it? Price
I
drop
just heard
TV
they've run
as
out.
well. Oh, hang on, my manager's saying it's dropped.
I've just heard that they've run out. There's no more left on there. No, wait. I'm sorry. I've heard there's a limited number back in. No, it's not true. They're unlimited. Is digital data unlimited?
Hey. Don't get me started about that.
Right?
I put in for a thing many moons ago where it was a free digital copy of a game, and they ran out of digital copies of the game.
Yeah, I did the same thing actually.
Yeah.
It was that,
Okay, maybe they got so many keys and they ran out of keys, but really, you don't run out of digital stuff. But whatever.
Yeah.
That's for another day. So wing missions are cool.
Stuff, my art. Yeah, okay.
Wing missions are good.
Cool. Wing missions are cool.
And with the assassination ones and the things you've got to go out and obviously we need to scale the difficulty there because you can, take 4 rather well-engineered chips with the engineer updates. See, it's always cohesive.
So we are going to go into details about the engineer updates with Sandy, and then also he's going to talk about crime and punishment and the kill warrant scanner when he comes on in just about an hour's time.
Yes.
I think it is.
Yeah, we've had some really, really interesting discussions and iteration and kind of going over those rules. It's been very good, very good stuff.
Excellent.
Exciting.
So in terms of the things that you've been doing, we are going to see the megaship interactions in just a little bit, but why don't you tell people a little bit about what the... Well, actually, no, sorry, let's talk about the fundamentals. So Adam, in just a moment, we have a little bit of a tradition with you on the streams, whereby you kind of list absolutely everything that we're going into the update, feature by feature. You run through the list, you tell people all about it.
Yeah.
But is there anything that we can do a little bit more in depth before we... either of you really? I don't know if you want to talk about the fundamentals. Well, actually, crime and punishment, engineers, wing missions, the wing depot, that stuff that is kind of fundamental core changes to things. Trade data. Lawrence was on here talking a little bit about that. But is there anything that you can go into in more details? I think Steve Kirby is going to be coming on and talking through that as well. So why don't we talk? Well, he's going to demonstrate the. He's going to demonstrate the.
Data,
Oh, was it you?
Yeah.
Well, you do it then. Sorry, Eddie. Eddie, you can just go.
The Ed and Ad show with Eddie on the side. Side ordering of Eddie.
Order of Eddie. Oh, don't.
So trade data. So we have added kind of new ways to visualize the data that you own. So you can own trade data by docking at any of the ports within a system, and that will give you the data for all of the markets that are available. When I say markets, I mean a port that has a commodity market. That's what I mean by markets. You can also get it by scanning the nav beacon of the system. So there's 2 quite easy ways to get hold of the data. Once you have that, there's a new way to visualize that data in the Galaxy map, which makes obviously trading really useful because you can now see the import and export prices within a small tolerance, because of course it is a live background sim, so by the time you get there it might be slightly different, but the price, the data that you have and you own updates as well. So it never it's never out of date. The trending trade data stuff is something it's slightly separate, which Steve may be able to go into a little bit of detail later. But the trade data price stuff that you get, that's updated, and like I say, within a tolerance, it's the price that will be available at those markets. So you can instantly see the import and export prices of systems that you own. But not only that, when you're on the Galaxy map, which is really cool and exciting, you have the system overlay, and you can cycle through those markets. So you can see individual ports, their names, how far they are from the entry point. You can start to filter out if it has large landing pads, so you can customize it to your ship size and make sure you can actually land there when you get there. And you can see the prices that are offered at all those markets as well. So really powerful tool for traders out there, who I know there are thousands and thousands of you guys who love to get involved in the trading. We think that's going to be really useful for you guys. The other side of it, we've got the comparison. So when you're at the commodities market screen, before you could drop down and see data from previous markets that you've got hold of. Now there's a whole search box that opens up, and you can just search through, because of course lots of traders have got lots and lots of data. So an easier way to find that data, we've got a search box. Like literally you can just press S, hit enter, and it will return everything that begins with an S for systems that you own. And again, you can compare with the market you're in really quickly, nice and easily that way. And there's a little bit of crossover with the Galaxy map as well. You can do that on the Galaxy map. And trading trade data, we also take into account commercial and the other thing, which I can't remember, commanders and commercial. So NPCs and player. So we can start to actually just filter out and look at what the players are doing, which, you know, maybe it gives you a way to find out where to pirate or where to bounty hunt. You know, there's that kind of double-edged coin, as it were, as with most things in Elite. Yeah, because I've had a single-edged coin once, and that was hard. It fell over on the wrong side, couldn't find it.
Stopped existing.
Couldn't find it. It was really hard. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
that's pretty
awesome
cool.
Stuff.
That was, for me, that was one of my most challenging features to do, because I hadn't really gone anywhere near trading before. Like in as a feature in the game, it had been taken on by Lawrence, I think, in the early days, and I think it had just been managed by someone else. So I don't do much trading in the game as a career. So I was coming at it and kind of learning all the systems, and also I think sort of able to bring sort of fresh eyes to it, you know, like a different way. And I think it's turned out really well. I've learned a lot from it.
From a production side point, of course. Yeah. Like you say, the developers, the designers, and who be talking about the trade stuff, are the ones who have experience with it and do know it inside and out.
Absolutely,
but you came in and added a
production's
fresh perspective from the
transient
side.
Across features. You know, we sort of move in and out. Well, I now know everything about trade data, so I'm you know, it's changed moving forward. But before, I hadn't really touched those areas. So that's cool.
Do you feel enlightened now that you know all that?
I feel like a trade tycoon.
Trade tycoon. That's exciting.
It's very exciting.
Eddie, let's talking of exciting.
Eddie talk.
Eddie Simons. So we have got, like I said, Steve's going to demonstrate some of the stuff we're in an area where we can do some of the membership interactions.
Oh, yeah.
But why don't you talk us through what those are, what the sort of thought process behind them was, and why they exist as a thing?
Yeah, well, I mean, the starting point really is that, you know, we had all these great sort of locations to visit in the game, and we wanted to really sort of add to what you can do when you're there, really. So, you know, we've got now the cargo bays that you can hack on them, the comms arrays for getting data and stuff, and turrets that you can disable. And this is, you know, part of this has also been to sort of, under the hood, try and unify the way that some of these interactions work between how things are structured on the surface and in space as well. So that sort of makes it a lot simpler in future for us to develop those sort of things and add more things in that kind of vein. So,
how do you find the interactions on the ship, though,
well,
Eddie?
there's a beautiful little scanning process that you can go through, which looks very, very nice.
Blew people's minds.
It did, didn't it, at the time when we first showed, and you'll see that later on when we get around to putting that in there. It's on there. When we get Steve here doing those talking to those sorts of things, so fundamentally though, it's stuff to interact with in the game. Is this indicative of what we might see throughout Beyond?
I think we can probably say that you'll see more things.
I just baited you into that.
I think we can maybe say
Maybe,
if
I'm not
possibly
sure.
in the future
Why have
if
you asked
things
me
go
this
well.
question?
Yes, we will be seeing.
A hook just comes out from the side. Whoop.
Sorry, I know, that's why we don't invite you along to these assignments.
No, like I say, we spent quite a bit of time, going back and sort of, redoing some things under the hood, so that we're definitely going to be, pushing out more of that sort of content in the future, because we want to see more interaction with these kind of places that you visit, really. Because it's one thing sort of like going and having these amazing sort of structures to see and fly around and stuff, but we want people to have more to do whilst they're there as well. So
fantastic stuff. Yeah. So what are you both excited about in terms of the players getting their hands on in this update and seeing how people react and seeing how seeing their feedback and seeing what they think? And well, first of all, what are you most excited about seeing?
For me, it's the continuation of what is or isn't happening with the Thargoids, I think. That's going to be a good one.
Great. Eddie?
Just there.
That's it.
Just it.
Okay. But of course,
my traditional thing, my most interesting thing is the thing that I can't talk about yet.
Okay. Both things that we can't talk about. Great. What about things that we can talk about?
What else have we got? Well, there's. I don't know. Can I say that? I'm going to say it, and then you can tell me if I could have said it. The technology broker is kind of quite an interesting sort of approach, like making it a bit more personal in how you sort of progress through the game and acquire new material and stuff.
Tell us for those who don't know what that is. What is the tech broker?
So the tech broker or the tech brokers are different sort of contacts that you'll find at different starports. Each of them has a different sort of speciality. And they basically allow you to unlock new technology, like new weapons and modules, which you can then purchase. It's gonna sort of take on sort of more directions as it goes through, really, because there's going to be developments through Chapter 1 with them, I think we can say. And it'll, that and a couple of other things that we're working on all sort of ties together a little bit more. So I'm sorry, I'm being mysterious again.
No, it's good.
It'll be interesting having those little stories where players like, I've got so and so, and everyone's like, well, how did you get that? And they're the only ones that have kind of got it, and then suddenly it starts to spread, and maybe more people can take on that the challenge, or however you may or may not be able to get hold of these technologies.
But that's the thing,
that'll be pretty cool.
It's really sort of
element.
Making it your story where you're going to be sort of like finding out the locations of these people and unlocking the technology for yourself, rather than it being a thing where we just say this weapon's available now and everybody gets it straight away. It's more to do with like how you're progressing through the game. It makes it more personal to you.
Excellent stuff. So there's a few questions in the chat as well. If you do have some questions for Adam and Eddie, please do ask away. There are first I can see there's some discussion about the Kovas, and if you can preview it, and the Kovas, you can hear a 60-second clip.
From the livery.
Of how the voice sounds, and it explains what it is and why it's there within the livery. Oh, we dropped.
Sorry,
So any questions? Do pop them in the chat, and then we can see what we can do. But generally speaking, I had something.
From what you know of, obviously you know everything about Chapter 1.
Oh yeah.
What are you most excited about? Let's turn it on the presenter's head, huh?
In terms of feedback, so you will have seen.
Yeah, because you've got an interesting position, obviously, as the senior community manager.
So what you found with the beta.
Yeah.
Is that there, of course, is a core audience of people who play in the beta. And what we hear a lot about in the community team is what those people think, right? Because we focus, we read a lot about what those core people are thinking, and of course they're testing out the features because they care about the game the most. And there are lots of people who can't dedicate as much time. And I'm interested to see, once all this stuff, so crime and punishment, from a purely academical point of view, which is not sales in any way, opposite of QVC right now, from a purely academic
university
point of view, academical isn't a word, academic. From a
could get behind
thought exercise point of view, I'm very interested to see what the community at large feels about the crime and punishment changes. Because of course they were contentious amongst the community. We've made some changes and tweaks to those along the way throughout the beta process, which but we firmly believe that from a design point of view that this is so beneficial for the long-term health of the game. It is absolutely a better system. But we can also understand why certain elements of the community may find that a little bit difficult to get on board with. So I'm very excited to see what the larger community thinks once that everyone gets their hands on it, as well as, and Sandy's going to go into details all about crime punishment and how it works in just a few moments' time. But it's the same as for engineers. For me, personally, for playing engineers, because I've always wanted to get more involved in engineers, and now I feel like it's easier and simpler to do so. So for me, somebody who's always gone, I know I should engineer this ship. Now I'm going to be like, there's no excuse for me to not engineer this ship. And so you're going to see a lot more of engineered ships out there. And so that means everyone's ship is going to be subtly different, and that's really cool.
Interesting. Yeah, absolutely, because there's a core kind of engineer group, isn't there, or an engineer kind of audience. And I think this will broaden it slightly, or quite a lot, maybe. You know, I think, like yourself, you know, I'm sure there's many players out there like you that are kind of going, well, not quite, but now let's get involved.
Let's do it.
Let's get this chieftain up and running. It's the beast that it is.
Do you have a confirmed price for the chieftain that's going to be in the final build?
1 trillion billion credits.
Don't say that.
I don't know.
It's not 1 trillion billion credits. Although it might be. That is.
I don't know. I've got some figures that are flying in my head.
It's roughly around 19 million, isn't it?
19 or 90?
19.
19.
I thought it was a lower price.
I think I was around that area. So, Steve will know that, won't he?
Steve will know. Steve, look it up.
Steve Kirby, if you're watching now, A, get back to work. B, find out the ship price for your slot later. Well done.
There you go. Thanks, Steve. Any more questions, please, for Adam or Eddie or myself? Can't promise.
John Hoggett says, all I have is this rubber chicken. Sold to the highest bidder. 2 billion, Love Frontier. So far, no questions.
No questions.
No.
No one has any questions. That's amazing.
The 19 million isn't confirmed.
No, it's
Neither
not.
of us can confirm the price.
I'd be surprised if it was
will.
19 million.
Why? You think it's too cheap?
Yeah.
I
thought it was that. I thought it was too cheap as well. But then maybe they've changed it since the beta. Because it was super cheap in the beta. You can find out here in this build of the beta if you want.
But it might. The
beta prices are cheaper
using the beta. Alright, we'll confirm it
cheaper.
and get it.
I don't want to get people upset about this. No. Sorry, guys.
Just expect it to be 1 billion trillion, and then.
I like chieftain. This will be my first fight with a chieftain. You're going down.
Are you fighting a chieftain versus chieftain?
Oh yeah.
Thermal overload. No pips to weapons.
Sorry, that was my bad.
Nope.
Oh, I love
Orange
the
Spark says, Adam, tell us something you think we don't. Tell us something you don't think we know. Oh, clever. I see. He's trying to give me a, you know.
So I've got a
Orange Spark.
One thing I would say is that trailer that we just put out, wasn't it good?
There's a good question there from someone, I can't remember their name. Is Galnet Audio in German? Yes.
Yes, it's on Galnet Audio. Talk about Galnet Audio.
Galnet Audio.
Languages.
So I think like what you were saying about engineers, like the engineering update has kind of opened you up to wanting to go and do engineering. I think Galnet Audio is a similar kind of door for people into the narrative that's ongoing, been ongoing since day one, and that has obviously taken some big twists and turns at the moment to helping people understand where it currently is. You know, you hit play, you build up your Galnet Audio playlist if you want to, and away she goes, and she starts talking about the latest headlines. And it's really cool because it's got really exciting. It will drop in and out depending on the situation of your ship. So if there's really important alerts and things, the audio guys, as always, have done an incredible job and made sure that it's mixed well and that it ducks in certain situations. Sometimes it will pause and kind of never resume if it needs to in certain gameplay situations. Other ones, like when when the frameshift drive is charging and you're listening to the countdown stuff, it will pause momentarily and then kick off again when you're the other side. So that should be really cool. I'm looking forward to that. I think for me, back at FX, the video we had, Galnet Audio, you know, that bit always gave me chills. I don't know why. Every time it kind of it kicked off, even when we were going through the dress rehearsals and stuff, I was always like, oh yeah, because it was just cool. Like Sandy was like, well, I'll let it speak for itself. That was a terrible impression of him. I'll let him speak for itself. And
Are you still trying to do an impression?
No, a little bit.
Oh, it's very good. All right.
Not that bad.
Sorry, it was so bad that my microphone popped off. All right, so yeah. Just any more questions? Just put in the chat. And again, like I said, we're kind of just being a little bit laid back today. Just killing time while we wait for the servers, while the build is back online.
Okay, so Orange Spark wasn't asking for spoilers. He was just trivia. So one thing was, you won't know that I recently I recently voiced some new tutorial videos.
Oh, there you go.
With a cold. Yeah. So see if you can spot that one,
which I've now got as well.
Well, stop kissing me.
Yes, sure. How can I when you're just so delightful and dishy? So what are you guys? I mean, look, we have talked about Beyond. We've talked about the rest of it as well. So of the major features that we have announced, what are you guys actually working on now?
So I'm working on.
Hey, there's a microphone. It'll pick up.
That was it.
Can I talk about exploration?
Talk
Is that
about
okay?
mysterious. It was
so exploration.
Without going into too many details.
Not going into any details really, but it's something that we've been starting to look at, starting to talk about, starting to.
I think it's safe to say that you're exploring ideas.
Yes,
how exciting!
There you go.
Shots.
But yeah, that stuff is.
Don't shot.
Very exciting. I really like that word. I'm looking forward to seeing what we do with that over the next few months, really. Yeah.
And I am working on something I can't talk about.
Very good, very exciting. Well, so, I keep saying exciting. I actually didn't mean to say that to you. Here's a thing though. We did just watch. No, you didn't see it. Apparently,
I didn't see it. No, I didn't see it.
It's a cinematic short, and I believe it is on YouTube now, so you can go and check it out as well on YouTube. But we do have, it's Ramtar, and he's animated and does a little chat, and he looks great. Yeah. And we have a commander who makes a deal because it's called The Deal. And that's kind of hinting at some of the narrative that is continuing with...
and actually, so if you'd seen it,
there's some
you
cool...
were working on certain parts
There is
of
some
that.
cool stuff. There's some cool stuff that's going in that, at the end especially as well, that makes you go, what's that? So have a watch and keep your eyes open. Also, there's a very cool, lovely little nod to some community members as well, some very generous, charitable community members in there as well. So
good.
Look out for those two things.
You'd have to tell me after.
I will indeed. Right, I'm gonna park up. Because apparently I got my canopy blown out, which I had no idea.
Can all players buy the chieftain?
So there isn't an alliance combat rank.
No, but it's Horizons only.
Horizons only.
It is Horizons.
It's Horizons only. So the owners of Elite Dangerous Horizons can play it, but not Elite Dangerous base game. Yeah. And if you haven't bought it already,
get involved.
Get involved. Come on.
It's lovely.
It's lovely. We can keep making updates for you if you help us out by buying Elite Dangerous Horizons.
Making updates.
Updates.
Oh, making updates.
We can make updates.
Making updates.
All right, let's make up a date right now.
38th of the 4th.
Oh, that kind of date. I was feeling a little bit more romantic. But very good.
Oh,
I was saying making dates.
Interesting. Okay. See how
very
cold, hard, logical, romantic, warm, fuzzy.
Romantic, warm. That's what they call me. That's my nickname, Edward Romantic Warm Fuzzy.
Hello, Mr. Fuzzy. Yes, it's your bank manager.
Fuzzy. Yeah.
Mr. Fuzzy.
Sorry, it's Mr. Fuzzy to you. All right. I'll fix themselves. We could, Eddie, if you'd like to, while we're all here, we could. Well, first of all, we've got a giveaway. So should we do a giveaway
What's
first?
The giveaway?
What's the prize
right,
today?
okay, what we've got is...
It's a big one, because he had to clear his throat. That's a lot.
I'm doing it because I'm stalling. We have, let's have a look, which one is it? Which one do you want to give away? Have a look through that list. We've already given away the white lights.
I quite like the galvanised one. That sounds good.
Galvanised. Those at lunchtime.
Let me double check what that is. These are new on the store. We're going to give away 2 of these right now. When it loads in, if it loads in, it won't load in because I have broken it. Let's have a look here.
Peek behind the curtain. You'll see the wizard.
It's the worst curtain ever.
There we go.
There it is.
So these are the galvanized paint job. Oh, look at them.
I really like the blue one.
They're really lovely. So these are available in the store now, but we're going to give away 2 of them. So what should people say in the chat right now to order them? Order them? No. To order them, go to Frontier Store. Honestly, I said this repeatedly, but now that we've got a little bit more settled in,
58 minutes into this one, Ed.
I am a bit sick. So I'm pulling through for the Beyond launch because we've had a big day today, but I am going to collapse after this for a week.
What have they got to say something in the chat?
Say something in the chat.
Low
to
in
win
stock.
that. Low in stock. There you go. Say low in stock in the chat.
You just go straight in there.
Say low in
I'm
stock.
going to go QVC or something.
I was going to go for that actually. Yeah.
QVC. Well, low in stock is good. Low in stock. And then say it once, and then we will pick 2 winners to take home with them.
Here they come.
Low in stock. Something to somebody else.
Lower stuffed.
Very good. So
I like that.
Up next on the stream,
that.
we are going to be inviting Chris Gregory, who's going to come on for 20 minutes, and he's going to talk about the visuals in Elite Dangerous, and maybe a little bit about the ongoing visuals that we are going to be working on after 3.0.
Because this is only the first point in
And
the
give us
First chapter.
first chapter.
That's why it's called Chapter
Chapter
1,
one.
because it's the first one.
Oh, I thought we. I get it now. I get it. It's
interesting
multiple
naming.
chapters. All right, stop saying it once you said it once, and then we'll pick somebody at random. And also, he's going to talk us through, like a car salesman, he's going to talk us around the Chieftain and all of its cool features and how it was designed. Just a little bit about ship design. Also, maybe we'll have a chance to. We'll.
Take a moment.
Sorry.
It's all right. Good. That's a good face, man. That's a strong face.
Yeah, I'm all right.
That's a
I'm all right.
strong
Stop
face.
saying it. Stop saying low in stock. We get it. It's low in stock. All right, let's have a look. Lower stuffed. Okay, low.
Maybe. Hey, can we do a bonus?
Not for the lower stuff.
Oh, go on.
Random number between. Oh, we have lots of people entering that one, and that is go. We have 100. Nice, easy. Pindar, 1984. Well done, Pindar, 1984. You are now the proud owner of one of those, which is one of. Where's it gone? I deleted it. No, here it is. One of these, which is wonderful.
Pick the blue one.
And then we need to do a second one. So again, remember to email community@frontier.co.uk with an email. Oh gosh, we're professionals here.
With an email
Just
attachment.
everyone remember Frontier Expo because I was really good then. All right, 198. Okay, let's do another one. 100. Oh, only a few away, which is great. We have Mark Schneider. Mark Schneider, you have also won one of these as well. Well done. So email community@frontier.co.uk with the title "I won the galvanised paint job pack," and then include your details and your commander name and your email address you use to log into the Frontier store in that email. Also, PM us from your account, the one you're using right now to watch this YouTube channel with, to our YouTube channel, so then we can get validate.
Confirm.
Validate. What's
Validate.
the word?
Verify.
Verify is the word I
Verify.
was looking for. Sorry for pointing at your face.
It's okay.
People don't like being pointed at, do they? Point at me for a second. I don't mind it. Some people don't like it. How do you feel about that?
That's fine with me.
Yeah,
I don't mind.
I'm okay with it.
Well, yes.
Hold on.
Right, we've got
Depends who's doing it, I think.
more giveaways coming up shortly, and Chris Gregory on the way. But before we go, we do need to sign these because at the end of the stream we're going to be giving away this lovely bit of art signed by everybody who's on the stream today. So if you could sign those for me, the pen is right there. Forgive me 1 second while I just sneeze.
Bless you.
I tried to cover it, but I didn't want to sneeze into the microphone. Right. And also, as well, at 20 past the hour, we've got Will Flanagan, who is another member of the community team here, the community content team.
Lovely Will.
Coming on with Steve Kirby, and they're going to be demonstrating some of the stuff that we've been talking about as well, including the megaship interactions. Great. Gives me a chance to sit down. I am sitting down now, and maybe I need to lie down. All right, thank you for saying bless you. It's very kind of you.
Doesn't
It might. By the way, I'm worried now that people are going to think these are infected by my bacteria.
I mean, they can't live on that hard surface for too long, can they?
No, probably not.
What was it, 24 hours?
We'll put them in the refrigerator before we wait. That's
No,
really-
'cause
that's-
I think
that's-
that'll,
they'll incubate them.
yeah.
We'll put them in the freezer. Put them in the freezer. Can you disinfect? I'll spray them. I'll spray them with
Wipe
Dettol.
all the signatures off.
Flu vaccinations are available
So sorry.
from your local
I don't
pharmacy.
know- I
if you
don't
want to
know-
prepare in advance.
I don't know how. I don't know how professional it is to talk about how sick you are on a stream. I'm not sure. But anyway, we're doing it anyway. All right, let's get Chris Gregory on here in just a moment's time. But again, thank you so much, Eddie Simons. So can I say a huge thank you to Eddie and Adam for working on the game and making it being a part of what makes this so good. Also, again to reiterate, absolutely every single member of the Frontier team. This is a big task. The team, Yoda. The Elite Dangerous team is bigger than it ever has been.
Big task it is.
Yeah.
The Elite Dangerous team is bigger than it ever has been, right? Or maybe right at the start it was probably must be its biggest, but like it's just as strong as it ever has been.
Absolutely.
And it continues to grow and it continues to develop and change and everybody is involved in making it what it is.
We're
good stuff.
exploring new chapters all the time.
God. All right. Thanks, Adam. Oh! No, you're not getting away that easily. You're not getting away that easily.
I was going to.
We have a little bit of a tradition here on the live streams where we have a new update where Adam Woods goes through a big list of absolutely everything that is included in the latest updates, so in 3.0. Eddie's got it in front of him as well, so he can read
You're going to be making sure you don't miss anything.
Adam's going to try it, so we want a big round of applause in the chat, please, at the end, if Adam makes it. If he doesn't, we want some boos. No, we don't.
If I make it, can we give another paint job?
Yeah, sure. We'll give another one of what we just gave away if you do it.
If I do it. If I get everything that's on that list.
Then we'll give away another paint job.
Okay, so in Beyond Chapter 1, coming to you on February the 27th. I hope it's today.
Do you need a beat? Do you need a beat for this?
No.
Do you need do you want to wrap it?
No. Right, Chapter 1 coming to you today.
Today,
we have got
a few hours' time.
The engineering update, including remote engineering, materials trader, ignore materials for collector limpets, quality and quantity when targeting materials. We have per material storage caps as well. We have trade data visualization on the galaxy map. We have updated trade trending routes. We also have the updated comparison screen for the market commodities market screen. We also have port services available to you on the galaxy map, so you can find where different port services are available. We also have the technology broker, bringing you new and exciting exotic technologies for you to find and unlock. We have wing missions, and including that we have the mission depot and mission choice reward choice. We have the crime and punishment updates, the kill warrant scanner updates. We have Kovas and the ever lovely Victor, and now Celeste as well, available on day one. Today, I keep saying it like it's in the future. It's today, my God. We have new megaship interactions and new ways to scan those megaships to find out those interactions. We have added the second seat to Keeley, free Keeley, hashtag. We have doubled your module storage. We have added audio Galnet as well.
Yeah.
We have.
Well, you didn't miss it, but you got it.
We've added new and mysterious things for you to find out, and of course, the massive cherry on the top of an incredible cake is the chieftain.
Yeah, is that everything?
That's everything.
Round of applause, Adam. Well done. All right, everyone in the chat, say congratulations, Adam, and I'll pick somebody at random who's from that to win.
I've actually sweated.
Well done,
I'm
you're
sorry,
amazing.
I
That
probably
was
smell a
amazing.
little bit, but
So
I've
we'll give away another one of these because Adam was successful. That's really, really good. Another galvanised pack. Remember, these are on the store now as well.
Oh,
so say,
someone just said I didn't
congratulations,
mention the
Adam.
Type 10 and Type 9 changes. This is all just kind of the
Main
headline
stuff.
stuff.
Features
There
there.
is an absolute swathe of bug fixes, stability fixes, small quality of life updates, just incredible things. Performance. Go and check the changelog for a bit more of a
It's out there right now, yeah. There's the changelog's out there right now.
Yeah, go and have a little read while it's downloading.
Right, let's get Chris in because and then you keep saying that. Say it once and then stop saying it once you've said it once, and then when we get Chris back on, the first thing that we'll do is pick a winner. So we'll be back in just a moment's time. Again, thank you guys so much, and see you next time for some sort of live stream in the future. Thank you.
Bye.
Draw.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us. And here, to my right, to your left, is, well, it's art director Chris Gregory.
That's me.
Director of art or art director? Which one do you prefer?
I'm going to go alternate them.
Alternate them.
Whichever one you feel more comfortable with.
I will do my best to alternate them as
Make
we
sure you do.
go
I'll keep
through.
track.
Thank you very much, Director of Art Chris Gregory.
Okay.
So I'm going to do. I'm going to grab somebody from the chat. Now, actually, Adam was wrong. He didn't actually succeed. He didn't list everything. The thing he missed was the thing we're going to talk about right now, which is planetary surface improvements.
It's almost convenient and it sounds planned, so that's good in a way.
But in a way, we'll still give away the thing in a second now. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this really quick search for this. So it was Adam, wasn't it? So we can see how many people. Yeah, and then we can do random number generator. No, that's not correct. 1 and 1 6 9. There you go.
I'm disappointed that you're not picking names out of a hat.
And so it's a digital hat of sorts.
It needs to be old school.
It's still quite old school. I mean, I still have to click
Like tombola
through.
that you're turning. That's what you need.
All right, we have. We have Daniel Rowlands. Daniel Rowlands, congratulations, you have won yourself one of these. A galvanised paint job pack.
Oh, nice.
Which is very, very nice indeed. So what you have to do is email community@frontier.co.uk with I won the galvanised paint job pack, and then also PM us from your YouTube account to this YouTube account so we can verify that it's you and you're not just someone trying to steal your paint job pack from yourself.
Oh, you've got
That
T's and
makes
C's
sense.
now.
I've got lots of
This
T's and
is
C's.
good.
T's and C's come out of my brain.
Okay,
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. As you can hear, I've got a little bit of a cold, so I've got to stop going on about it.
Oh my God.
Anyway, we've got some more giveaways at the end of this segment, and also at the end, at the very, very end of the stream, we'll give away these as
All
well.
right, okay, cool.
These signed posters.
Yes,
so
very
if you
nice.
could sign those as well.
Certainly will. I'll do that in a second.
Yeah. So today, 3.0.
3.0.
How exciting!
It's good. It's good. Yes, we've had the trailer out. That's good. Been good to get that out after a lot of time working on it, and it's all content that's in this release.
Yeah, which is very, very exciting. We're going to talk through the Chieftain in just a little bit.
Well,
but
let's do that.
What are sort of the main things from an art perspective that are going into 3.0 that you're excited about?
Sure.
All of it, obviously. Are there lots of things that sort of happen behind the scenes? The big obvious things are the Chieftain and the planetary surfaces and stuff like that, but there must be also little tweaks and constant bits of work.
Totally,
that
there's lots of little bits of bug fixing and stuff. I know if you read the logs and the reports and stuff that we put out, you'll see all of the little changes that go in, too numerous to recount, as well as the big ticket items like new ships and some items that you'll be seeing in the game when it comes out that I won't talk about just now.
Okay.
But might have been teased a little earlier on, and and all of that stuff goes into it. But lots of little things to keep the team busy, as well as continued future planning and development for releases down the line. So it's a really busy time at the moment.
Oh, it's ridiculous. I'm very lucky in that I get to walk past the art department quite a lot, and and every time I walk past, I just look at the screen and just go, what are they even doing?
And we tell you to go away.
And you say,
Yeah.
shoot,
Shoot,
you can't have
go.
you in here. You go on the live
Leave.
streams. You
Gonna
talk
leak
too
stuff,
much.
right? That's what's gonna
That's what I
happen.
do. Everyone knows me as
Indeed.
the leakiest of all the leaky ships, but it's not true. So, but the planetary improvements. I mean, I'm not sure. We've actually got a little video that was made for when we announced these or started talking about these at the beta.
Yes.
So why don't we show that? I think you can talk over it as well. while
Okay,
it's
let's
happening.
run that.
I know we're
We'll have a
jumping
look.
from subject to subject a
Go
little
for
bit,
it.
but we are short on time.
Freewheeling.
So here it is. So they can hear you talking as well if you want to talk.
Yeah, okay, so I think this was put together to highlight where we're headed with the planets, and what ended up in the release was I think a step beyond this as well, but this was kind of put together to show that we are after more contrast, more tonal difference in the planetary colours, not just making everything super saturated across the galaxy, but trying to add variety. So sometimes you'll have some more desaturated planets, sometimes you'll have some super saturated planets, and often you'll get a nice mix of the two. So you might get a nice white-grey planet with a splash of red on it, or so it's more really about making the planets distinct and unique rather than just a flat sort of boost to the saturation across the board. And I hope that the people who've been playing the beta so far will have seen some of that stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the rest of you guys will see that today.
When you finally get
release
to hunt today.
It's today, right?
Of
It is
yeah,
today.
it is,
Good.
which is
I was
amazing.
worried there for a
Is it
moment.
tomorrow?
I was thinking, what?
No, it's today. It's
That's
later
good.
today. I mean,
Good.
servers are currently offline.
Right.
At 9:30 this morning, they went offline for us to allow us to update to it. We said roughly 9 hours, so there's only a few hours to go now before people can actually finally play on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. You'll be able to fly in the Chieftain yourself, and also land down on those planet surfaces that do look absolutely incredible. There's also a way to interact with the planet surfaces. They're giving more indication now as well of the volcanicity of the planets and the types of minerals.
Doing a lot of stuff under the hood there to try and make sure that the colours are sensible and all that sort of thing. So I think overall it's a nice boost to the planetary environments, but it's not the end of the story. We'll keep on working on those all the rest of the year to build into a big release at the end of the year.
Well, I was going to say, you touched on it there, and we touched on it at FX because you were up on stage with me at FX, which was absolutely awesome. Director of art, Chris Gregory.
Thank you. I've lost track.
I think actually that was supposed to be an art director, so I think I've messed up. But you were up there on stage and talking about the things, and we showed up a piece of concept art.
We did.
A sort of a target piece, as it were. So how much is the stuff we've got done now a step towards that direction?
Right, so that's for the planets, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So that was a sort of an icy world, an icy planet. And what we'd done there is, I can almost remember it off by heart. We had added.
We talked about that a lot. Yeah.
We had added scatter objects and larger scale pieces to sort of break the landscape up. We'd added a bunch of environmental effects as well to make them feel more active. And that work is ongoing at the moment. That's what we're striving for. So you'll see the updates in the game at the moment are to the non-icy planets. Yeah. In this particular release, you'll see the rest of the planets get a little bit of an upgrade, and then the icy planets are our big target, and all of that is in progress. Obviously, we cannot show anything right at the moment because we want to make sure that we're hitting that target and getting close to it before we start talking about it in more detail.
But I'm sure we will, and I'm very, very excited to be able to start sharing this sort of stuff with you later this year. But today, 3.0, another thing that's coming to 3.0 is the beautiful looking Chieftain, which we can see here. And I was wondering before we hello. As you can see, here she is. And I was wondering if you could maybe talk us through a little bit about the Chieftain.
I certainly can. So the Chieftain was, as we said, another thing that we talked about at the Expo. We showed very work in progress, sort of grayscale render turnaround of the ship, just to show you kind of more or less the broad strokes of where it was headed. And it's been an interesting ship for us. We kind of took our time on it a little bit because we wanted to come up with something different. We've been making ships now for Elite Dangerous for a good 4 years, more or less. Yeah. And we've done about 30 odd, I think. Yeah. I can't remember the exact numbers, but if you include fighters in that, probably even more. And the sort of alien ships as well. So with this one, we wanted to try and come up with something that felt just a little bit different, both in terms of its kind of shape and its detailing, and also from a narrative point of view, it is an answer in a way to the fact that the universe has gotten a bit more dangerous. We've got a lot more sort of alien attacks and threats in there in the form of the Thargoids, so there's a lot more combat kind of that are going on, and a combat with foes that are in some ways sort of are equal, if not better, in terms of their capabilities. So this is a ship really that's intended to show that maybe you could do with something a little more meaty, a little stronger, and that's what this ship is. So it's a Lakon ship, and so there'll be some echoes of some of the earlier Lakon designs, but again, we wanted to almost make it a little bit less sort of utilitarian than the regular Lakon ships. It's a bit sleeker, a bit faster, because it is a combat ship. Its primary role. So that's why it looks a little bit more aggressive, and it's got a little bit of attack to the design. It kind of got a lot of momentum going forward, so it sort of looks fast even when it's on the landing pad. But even faster when it's boosting. Right?
Yeah, like this.
Give it. There we go. Look at that. You don't want to be stood behind that.
No, it's really cool.
No.
Even when it's just doing its normal thrusters, it looks fantastic.
Well, for sure. So a lot of work went into this from our.
Got the landing gear that goes down as well.
Right, indeed. So that was the other thing for this as well. We always like to come up with some unique little things for the ships. You can see on this one we also got some underlighting. You can see those little light cones. Yeah. So when you landed on the planet or the surface, that'll actually light the ground. You can drive around on there. It's nice to see a bit of lighting under the ships when you do that. And we kind of wanted it to have again with Elite, one of the things about designing the ships for Elite is that we like to try and make them look as unique as possible, but to always come up with the reasons for that unique look. Yeah. So in this case, it's got these engines which are out on these wing-like kind of struts, and that's partly because we like to think that this could go down into atmospheres one day, and so it's got those wings on there, so you could kind of fly, you know. And the other thing is,
What Director Gregory?
we design everything with the narrative for the universe in mind. So although in the game you can't currently go down to
we're hoping eventually you might be able to.
People in the universe of Leak can, so you might imagine this ship can.
Nice save.
That's we've always.
I'm joking.
We have always said that. So that all of our ships, we try and imagine one day what would they look like if they were actually
to go down.
flying around in an atmosphere. And also the other reason for it, which is more pertinent to its use in the game at the moment, is the fact that the wing allows the engine to be out from the centre of the ship, so it's a more manoeuvrable ship basically. So you should find in the handling that it reflects that.
Yep, very cool. And I can feel it, as you just said, I did collide with a ship, but there you go. The handling can only be so good. I'm still going to mess it up.
Does that mean that, you don't get sent to prison for that though, right?
No, I'm okay. I should be all right. Well, let me check my panels. I seem to be okay.
Good.
There's no warning flashing on the screen in front of me to say
the
that
feds
I'm
aren't
wanted.
coming.
They're not coming for me.
Okay.
Although we'll talk about the feds coming soon, later on, when we have Sandy on at 4 p.m. in an hour's time. But before that, we have coming up, we have Will Flanagan and Steve Kirby are going to be here. I'm going to go and blow my nose.
Sounds like you could do with it, to be honest.
But thank you everyone for watching so far and for being here and hanging out with us today. It's been a lot of fun. We've got a giveaway to do. Have you signed that?
I've not.
Let's get that signed. So Chris, is there anything else that you want to say to the Elite Dangerous community, to even the people who work with you, who may be watching? Well, other than, of course, the classic joke of get back to work.
I think the people I've been working with most closely deserve a little bit of time off, which is the guys who've been doing the trailers. And we just finished D1 today, so they're all kind of kicking back a little bit, hopefully, and planning what's next for that. And the rest of the game is ticking along nicely. One thing I would say, if you have enjoyed the Commander Chronicles that we put out today, please do feel free to share that and get the word out there, because the intent is that those really show what you can do in the game for this release. So the further those spread, the more we're getting the message out.
Fantastic. So do please share those videos, and if you haven't seen it already, maybe we should play that right now to say thank you. But first of all, we need to get people a giveaway. So what would you like people to say in the chat to then I can pick 2 people at random to win? Which one would you like it to be? In fact, we need to choose the next giveaway. I'm sorry about this. The keyboard is getting all tied up with things.
What would I like people to say?
In the chat, yes.
Oh, blimey, you spun that one on me.
I know, I'm very sorry.
This is terrible.
Well, I know what we should be giving away, so this is fine. Why is this keyboard now in the way of things? It's very strange. All right. Sorry, I spring this on everybody.
Yes, indeed you do. I'm gonna go for Chieftain in front of things. Chieftain in front of things. Everybody say Chieftain in front of things. And, well, because it's Chieftain, you will win, 2 of you will win one of these paint job packs, which are coming out today, which are out today. It's the Vibrant pack for the Chieftain. It certainly is.
Which is great. So it's just more colours for your Chieftain.
Looks good in those colours. I like it. I like the yellow one. That's kind of like a JCB kind of thing going on there. Nice.
That's very cool. So you'll so to win, we'll give 2 of them say that, and then once you said it once, stop saying it. We'll pick 2 people at random to win the Chieftain Vibrant paint job pack.
Lovely.
Which is great. So Chris, the art director is very much what you focus on.
That's
but in terms of things that you're excited about with 3.0, what is it the stuff that's kind of maybe slightly hidden that you're excited to see what people's reactions are?
There's a bunch of stuff.
Hinted to, of course,
alluded to. I think it's no secret there's a little bit more Guardians flavour coming.
Well, it's alluded to certainly in the Commander Chronicles as well.
And the little launch trailer that we did as well. There's a little. Basically, if you see anything that's glowing and sort of cyan, pretty much Guardians. So that's nice. A little clue out there. So there's definitely some of that. Also, I think the thing that I like the most is something that you've already seen, but it's the Scouts.
Yeah.
The fact that we've actually got the old octagonal.
The old octagonal Scouts in the game.
Is a thing which is dear to my heart. I really like that as a little nod to the past there.
It's a lovely nod to the past and a lovely nod to sort of traditional UFO type craft in general, which I think is
it moves in a slightly different way, but it still feels like it's part of the Fargod family. I think it's really cool.
Very cool. And a lot of you, again, in a few hours' time, for everybody, every player on PS4, Xbox One and PC will be able to get their hands on all the changes coming in 3.0. If of course, depending on which iteration of Elite Dangerous you own, whether that's Horizons or Elite Dangerous. But I think most of you here will be Horizons owners.
You'd think.
I mean, they've come along to the stream. All right, let's pick someone at random. Okay, Chieftain. Yeah, that'll do. And then we need to go between 1 and... Yep, 1. Oh, same again. Great. No, I pressed the wrong button and I've opened up a gambling site.
Oh, it just opened up. It just
Just
happened to
what's
open
me?
up. There's no...
Yeah, okay. Oh, gosh, I've got it again. And we have it. It is Nulusios. Very good. Nulusios. Nulusios. You are the winner of the first Chieftain Vibrant pack. And we're going to give another one away. Let's do one more random number. That is, okay, nice and easy. There you go, and that is Mr. Zloktar. Mr. Zloktar, great YouTube name.
That's Mr. Zloktar.
I'm so sorry that I wasn't given his formal name, Zloktar. Me and Zlocky go way back. All right, so Zlocky, if you could PM us, Mr. Zloktar, from your YouTube account to this YouTube account. And then also the other name that I mentioned that I'm sure Paige will have taken down.
You don't want to try that one again?
Nomios.
Okay.
New Lucios. Mr. New Lucios.
There you go.
So email PM from your YouTube account to this YouTube account so we can verify you, and then also email community@frontier.co.uk with I won the paint job pack, I won the Chieftain Vibrant paint job pack today, and that way we can get it added to your account as soon as possible. So Chris, thank you again for coming along.
Pleasure.
Come back on a stream again sometime?
Anytime.
Great stuff. Thank you, everybody. What we're going to do is play out on the Commander Chronicles video that Chris mentioned. So make sure you share this everywhere. It's on YouTube now, so you can find it there. Go to your social media accounts and share it, because if you like it, we would love to make more of them. But we need to see that you like it, of course. So lots of views and likes and comments and lovely things like that.
And get people involved.
They've done an amazing job, by the way. Can I just say the creative services guys, to call them there by their formal internal name, have done an incredible job with this.
From animation to audio to VFX to anyone else I'm forgetting, it's all it's a really nice little piece.
And stuff such as the logo in the top corner here, simple little things like that you see all the time.
For sure.
In all of our marketing pieces on the website, and everything, like hard work those guys put in.
Absolutely.
So I like to take these opportunities to share the love with the community about everybody who works at Frontier. So it's not just the development team as well. There's a lot of people that put a lot of hard work into making this possible, and so congratulations to everybody involved, and congratulations to the community, because you're part of it. Right, I'm going to go take a break. We've got Will coming on with Steve Kirby. They're going to go through Megaship interactions, talk a bit about trade as well, and a few other things. We're going to see it live happening on the screen if Steve can manage to make it work. We'll be back in a second. Again, thank you, Chris, and enjoy the Commander Chronicles video.
That was too close. Tarrant, Davis, get those scouts off me.
Roger that, Commander.
I'll handle the interceptor. All right, let's see what you got. Oh, that's not great.
Incoming call from router.
Lena, I trust I haven't caught you at a bad time.
Always got time for you, Ramta. Dig up anything interesting lately?
People dig for me these days, Commander. In fact, I might have something interesting for you. Something suited to your unique talents.
Don't have much time for archaeology these days. I'm kind of busy.
Shame. The past can teach us so much about the present. And my research into the Guardians has uncovered some fascinating finds. But it's the potential technological applications that will interest you. Applications that might help you level the field a little.
Like weapons?
Indeed. All I ask is that you unearth a few dusty old relics for me. It will certainly be safer than fighting Thargoids.
Okay, Ram. You've got my attention. If I do it, I can have my pick of your new toys.
That's right.
All right. me in.
Oh, I'm delighted to hear it. Now, when I said it wouldn't be dangerous...
Hello, everybody.
Hi, folks.
It's a big day today, Steve.
Is it?
Apparently, yeah. Apparently, there's something going on. I don't know anything about it.
You know nothing about it.
I've turned up to this streaming room and like go sit in front of a camera and talk about stuff.
Cool.
But
Let's talk
I
about
don't know
stuff.
why we're talking about stuff.
Well,
Any
it's 'cause
ideas?
Ed's got a cold.
Ed's got a cold. I'm filling in for him.
Must be it.
He needs to lie down.
It's a big thing.
It's a big thing.
No,
No,
we're only-
Beyond Chapter 1
Yay!
is the actual thing. Yes, it's
Chapter
here.
1.
It's my
It's
first,
good.
my
It's
first
today.
big update and release here at Frontier.
Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. So I'm Will. I'm the newest member of the community management team here at Frontier Developments. I'm joined by Steve.
Hi, folks.
Steve Kirby. He's the principal designer. Did I
Yeah.
get it right?
Yes, that's
Got
it.
it right. Here on for Elite Dangerous, and we're going to be talking to you today about mega ships.
Yes.
And all the things you can do with them.
Yes, we
currently,
are.
and that it's coming in beyond Chapter 1.
It is later on today.
Later on today, so you've got to prepare first what you need to do.
Yeah, Ed has left the ship without certain things.
the
so-
tools we need.
Yeah, so that's all right. We're just going to fit some. I think I'm going to fit a manifest scanner and some collection limpets. I think
Okay, so
maybe a hatch breaker or two.
for those who have not really researched what megaship interactions are, we have posted some recaps on the forums here and there from the beta and now. What are they?
We've basically gone through the megaships and added some interaction points and a new scanning system into it. So when you reach one of these scenarios, you can use your data link scanner, which has had an upgrade, to scan the ship. That'll identify locations of any interaction points. So these can be data point scans. These can be comms arrays, cargo bays that you can pirate.
Right, okay.
These could be turrets. And essentially you can use your limpets and weapons and scanners to interact with the ship, maybe get some loot or some data materials or some other exciting stuff. You can work together. I mean, these things are heavily armed now.
Yes.
So before this update, megaships have kind of not had any armament. We've given them some turrets and
Yeah, I would hope you can't just stroll up to
No,
them
you can't
like-
just stroll up to them and knock on the door and
Give us your stuff,
give
please.
us your stuff. So yeah, they're fairly heavily armed, so it might be worth taking a couple of pounds along, or maybe working out a way of pulling off a heist. So, having someone disable the turrets, someone sort of like if there are police ships around, distracting those, and then going in. And also based on a lot of the players' feedback throughout the beta, so thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
So things like you can use silent running to kind of make yourself less detectable.
Yeah.
I mean, police ships can still eyeball you at a certain distance and say, "Oh yeah, we've seen you do it,"
but no
but
crime.
but it's a case of you start running to be really sneaky and try and get away with it.
Okay.
Obviously, that builds up heat in your ship, so
You need
taking some heat sinks along or having a really heat efficient ship is very very useful. So yeah, it just gives an extra thing for pirates and players of that ilk to kind of get their teeth into.
In terms of rewards from stealing from mega ships, the cargo that you can steal and the data that you can steal, is that higher yield than?
So it varies. So we've got I'd say buckets of commodities. So each cargo bay, we tried to keep the cargo a ship is carrying kind of close to its class. So tankers are obviously carrying liquids or some of the things. So science ships generally have a lot of data, and cargo ships are carrying all sorts of things. But yeah, there's you can sometimes find rare items in these.
Yeah.
There'll be fairly higher yield than normal trader ships. You can find materials and data materials in there as well. So micro-resources, things for to use at engineers can be found here.
Okay.
So things to use with the material trader and things can be found here. So yeah, it just depends on the ship, and as I said, sometimes we have put the chance for rare materials to turn up or rare goods to turn up there. Because obviously those need to be shipped around the galaxy as well. So but hopefully the type of ship will.
You can work it out.
Yeah, you can kind of
can get from them.
Roughly what you can get from them.
Awesome. Let's do it. Let's go and find one.
So
and steal from them.
so I'm going to just swap out a couple of things. I don't need a planetary vehicle bay, so we'll sell that
it all.
Yeah, just sell it all. It's not our ship after all.
Strip it.
So I am going to quickly put in some hatch breaker limpets.
So these are what you'll be needing. These are what you'll be needing to break open.
I mean it's to break open a cargo bay. So you'll need to scan the cargo bay and scan the ship. You can use your manifest scanner to see what's inside. So before you actually pull the trigger and go, right, I've got to get inside there.
You want to see what's inside.
You want to see what's inside, so that's fine. So yeah, you can actually do that and see what you've got. Because there's no point getting into trouble if you, frankly,
it's not
going to pay off.
Just some rocks.
Exactly. So I'm not very well equipped for this, but let's
see how it goes.
I'll just see how it goes. I'm just going to see if I can just put on. Do I actually have a manifest?
No, Steve, the chat are bombarding me with cost of chieftain. I'm told that you might know.
I do.
The cost.
I know exactly the price range of the chieftain. Yes.
Are you going to tell us?
No, I'm not going to tell you. No, I'm going to keep.
Sorry,
of course, I'm going to tell you. Of course, I'm going to tell you. No, so the chieftain, depending on where you are in the galaxy, is a price range between 17 and 19 million galactic credits.
I can afford it.
You can afford it.
I can afford it.
That's nice. I can afford it as well. So just about. So yeah, between 17 and 19. So it fluctuates depending on obviously the system.
Yeah.
The sort of like wealth of the system and things like that. So. Yeah, the cheapest I've been able to find it is just over 17.2, I think.
Right, okay.
And yeah, the most expensive was 19.
And where was it the cheapest? If you could just tell me the exact location.
I'm saying nothing. So
you'll have to go out
and explore and find out.
It's
very simple. So
here we go.
Yeah, so it's actually quite an affordable ship, which is kind of good, seeing as it's
it's good for combat.
It's good for combat. I mean, I'm kind of waiting to see how it fits in with my kind of a bit of everything play style.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's good for combat. It's good for missions. I just love it. I think it's an absolutely brilliant ship.
Yeah, I'm keen to try it out. As you know, I've been trying out combat, so trying it out with a new ship could be really fun.
Yeah,
and learning it with everybody else, how
so
it functions.
Let's go and see if we can
find ourselves.
Well, there is a tanker, so let's go and find that.
Do you think it would be possible to interact with these solo on your own?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean they've not been
well, we've kept multiplayer in mind.
Yeah.
They can be played solo. And so, yeah, I mean, especially if you're using things like silent running, it's well worth giving it a go. I mean, you may not be able to strip the ship absolutely bare, but
you'll get something.
You'll get something out of them. And hopefully this is a system that we're planning on expanding in the future as well. So,
right. Okay.
So we've already started working on other kind of things to in connection with these. So.
Yes.
So yeah, this is I mean, it's looking at how players interact with the game, looking at what scenarios we can offer, anywhere we can improve that sort of thing. We're constantly looking. So, yeah, I mean, I have to say
feedback
big shout out to you guys. Also, shout out to Darren, James, Nick, and various other members of the team who worked on these, and it's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, it's always a group effort.
It's always a group effort, a massive group effort.
And player feedback is really important as well.
Yeah.
We had collected a lot during beta.
Oh, during beta it was invaluable. So I mean, we were kind of looking at how we're doing this and actually discussing the interactions and what people actually wanted out of these things with the community was fantastic. So I mean, it's direct feedback like that we started looking at the silent running aspect of it just to make sure that actually we can
does it work?
Does it work? Is it actually giving you the experience that we intended?
Yeah.
The answer was actually not quite, but if we can do this, we can get it in.
Do you find that feedback is kind of necessary because you have a vision in your head?
Yeah, I mean it's very valuable.
Yeah.
I mean we have that sort of level of feedback internally within the team as well. So it's going to no man's an island, but
sure.
No one works in isolation. Everybody works with other team members, and you bat things backwards and forwards. You go, actually, is that quite right? Is it not right? And you have a lot of discussions, and hopefully we end up with the best thing. But I mean, I've said it a few times on previous streams, but I see it as we're in a team with the players. I mean, we're the community, the developers, everyone. We're all a team. We all want the same thing, and that is for Elite to be absolutely brilliant.
Yes.
And we kind of work, we hope we work together nicely with everybody to actually achieve that.
There's the mentality of our development team, and
it is.
Seam and everybody involved here at Frontier Developments.
I mean, we do see the players as another member of the team. Hopefully they kind of communicate with us and we
tell us their thoughts
and tell us everything. And we can't respond to everybody.
No.
But those we can respond to, and those questions we can answer and things we can look at.
Yeah.
It's all kind of good.
I mean, it's always worth people saying stuff and giving feedback, and sometimes we can't, and that's just disappointing.
Just development,
but that's just.
Well, sometimes we just can't talk about something because it's too far in the future.
Yeah.
Sometimes we can't talk about it. Just because we can't talk about it. So
don't want to set those expectations, get you excited for something that we are still figuring out and tweaking and working out. Where has Ed gone? Ed's gone for a lie down. He's a bit sniffly.
Yeah.
He's got a cold.
I'm going to do a loop of shame here, aren't I?
Ah, yes. See, I thought it would be.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be me.
It'll be smoother and it'll all be fine. And then there we go. Steve does a loop of shame on the live stream.
Yes. I said to Steve before coming in here, I was like, I think you should fly, Steve, because I'll do a lot of loops of shame, and here it is.
And here's mine. Oh, just stop, Steve. Just stop.
It's when you get in front of a camera and you have to fly in front of a camera, I find it.
Yes,
really
I keep telling myself that.
These are the excuses we keep using.
This is it. It's just because I'm in front of a camera. It's fine. It's nothing to do.
The dreaded Pirate Wendy.
Yeah, the dread Pirate Wendy. That is,
Do you have any cargo racks?
I have one cargo rack, I believe. Anyway, you're assuming I'm going to steal something.
Yeah, he's just going to go and scan.
Anyway, as we jump in,
go and lie down.
As we jump in, you can see we've detected the structure, so we can actually target that, and we can. In fact, if I'm going to be.
So this is a tanker class ship that you.
Yeah. So I'm going to put on. Right now, what's changed fire group on this? I'll just do it manually. Can I do it manually? No, I can't do it manually. Oh, this is where I've got to. You said this would go smoothly.
Smoother than me,
it's
at least.
Complete and utter lie.
So we're approaching the ship.
But you can approach the ship. And if I can actually remember what the button is to change my controls, there we go. I can cycle through that fire group and I can use my data link scanner, and that's probably my discovery scanner, isn't it?
Is that data?
There we go. I can use my data link scanner if I reverse a wee bit to scan.
Is that a specific point, or is that just the general
so
targeting?
that's the point on. It's pretty much the centre of the ship.
Yeah. Okay.
So we can scan the ship, so we get our scanning effect, and that says it has identified targets. And as the scanning effect comes back, we can see this has got a bunch of targets on the front. So we've got a whole bunch of automated defence turrets.
Some cargo bays.
And we've got some cargo bays at the front, funnily enough, covered by those defence turrets. So I tell you what, I'm going to try and do this. I'll be a bit sneaky, so I'll put silent running on, and I'm just going to crash my ship. Yeah, smooth, Steve, smooth.
It's fine. It's all right, Steve. Calm. Be calm. We can steal from this ship. No problems.
Yeah, so we're doing all right. So,
right. So
I'm
you're just going to go straight for the cargo bay.
I'm going to go straight for the cargo bay.
You're
so
not taking out the turrets.
I don't know. I'm in silent running, so obviously I'm building up heat. So
got heat sinks with you?
I do not, but I'm just. It's all right. I'm fine. So there we go. I've interrogated that. Okay. No crime.
No crime.
Because obviously at the moment I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
So I can then lock onto the Olympic docking point. And this is where I've been a complete and utter idiot, because guess what I've forgotten to buy? I've forgotten to buy limpets.
Oh.
So yeah, planned. Well done.
Yay.
So I could attach a limpet to that point there.
Yeah.
There it is. There's the limpet. And I could eject the cargo from there.
Pull the door.
Yeah, basically it opens. Well, it doesn't pull them off. It opens the door temporarily,
right?
Ejecting some of the cargo. It doesn't eject all of the cargo.
You're overheating, mate.
I am overheating.
You are overheating.
I am.
Thanks,
overheating.
voice in the sky, for your advice.
Let's turn silent running off.
So
cool down.
You know what it's like when you've not got your headphones on.
You can't hear
you can't hear anything. But so I could, in theory, attack that.
Turn the doors open, release the cargo, and then
release
you
some
have
of the cargo.
Fly in and scoop it up.
Yeah, you have to scoop it, or use collectors, which is collector limpets, which is always useful. So I can also identify the ship uplink.
Okay.
So this is will generally show you the route of the ship. So the megaships do move around from system to system.
So you can track them.
So you can track them, or you can know where the best place is to ambush them. So you could have a look and see if any of them are going to go into an anarchy system, where obviously no crimes.
No crimes.
So you could attack with almost impunity.
Yeah.
So obviously the ship will respond to you, but it's not going to call the police.
Yeah.
Things like that. So hopefully you can, as I said, plan your attack. We didn't want someone just to, I'm going to come in here. I mean, you can try and come in here guns blazing and blow up everything and get all the, it's like we want you to think about what you're trying to do. So, come in, scout out the ship, see, if you see, okay, it's going to jump over here, maybe now is not the best time to attack it. Or it's like, okay, I can see a blind spot where the guns can't see me, so I can then, get to the cargo.
Someone waits down below.
Get there with some collections, and they can scoop it. Obviously, there are AI ships flying around these things, so sometimes there'll be police, sometimes there'll be other pirates, sometimes there'll be bounty hunters. The ship can actually respond and say, or these people can actually respond and say, right, let's get him because he's causing crime.
Yeah.
So, as I said, use silent running.
So I think it goes without saying that by trying to steal cargo, that's a crime. You will.
So attaching a limpet, unauthorised limpet, so something like a hatchbreaker or a recon limpet, which is new for Chapter 1.
Yeah.
Attaching those is actually a crime because it's unauthorised. So that is the assault crime. And then, obviously, we have piracy. If you're stealing something out of a ship, you're a pirate.
Okay.
So, you will get charged with piracy, and that's the same with data theft as it is for physical item theft.
Okay.
But as I said, silent running is a way to kind of mitigate that. So you can kind of say, right, I'll
I'll just sneak
in.
Sneak in, grab the stuff,
Sort of
sneak
like
out. If no one sees
intergalactic
me, if no
heists.
one sees me, I'm all golden. I'm all good. I
You
can run
haven't
away.
committed, well, you've committed crime.
You've
but
committed
no
crime,
one
but no
knows
one's seen it. No one's
Yeah.
witnessed it. Without witness, you're done.
So that's Megaships,
Yeah.
Megaship Interactions. It would be nice to show you, but
Yeah,
we forgot
sorry.
the limpet, so
Sorry.
we do apologise. There's a full recap on the forums as well about how
I mean,
you
we
can
have
interact with
shown
it.
it off before in the
Yes.
beta.
Previous stream.
So previous stream. So yeah, I mean, it's yeah. If you want to go and see it there,
Or you'll just be able to go and do it tonight.
or go and do it tonight. Yeah,
When
yeah.
Steve's
Wing
back
up, and go and find some of these things.
Okay, so I'm going to kind of end this segment, Steve, by asking you what you're most looking forward to in Beyond Chapter 1.
In Beyond
and
Chapter
the
1.
future as well.
I'm looking. Actually, I do have something. So, well, I'm looking forward to people finding all the different locations. Yeah, the things we haven't told you about. Secret stuff. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the reaction of you guys.
Yeah.
When you actually find that stuff, when you interact with it, and how all of that is taken on board.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we've hinted at stuff now with the Commander Chronicle video today. That's been hinted at some stuff.
YouTube channel if you
there's
haven't
other
seen it.
there's other stuff coming in. But it's always great. We sort of like tell you about the key features and all the kind of exciting stuff. But there's that thing which we've not quite told you about, and we want you to discover for yourself. And that, I think, is the exciting stuff here.
Yes. It's coming up figure over there by the camera.
Yes, it is good.
I mean, this is supposed to be subtly done.
It's supposed to be subtly done, yeah. You don't call him out.
Ed is the producer of this show, and he's providing me with. Hang on, he's saying in my ear.
Giveaway.
I see those 2 points. It's the last one. I can't read his writing.
Just says, maybe give a brief reminder of what else Steve works on.
Yeah, what do you do,
What else
Steve?
do I
I
do?
just grabbed you and brought you along, but what do you actually do here?
So, well, in 3.0, obviously there was these. I generally work on scenarios, including community goals. Although Darren, bless him, has pretty much taken over the community goals stuff from me. So thank you very much, Darren. So yeah, scenarios and basically things you can interact with, things you can go and visit. A lot of stuff I can't tell you about.
Nothing you
had a
can
hand in. Well, I had a hand in the tech broker. Had a hand in the material trader for the design on those. Some other sort of like tweaks and mechanics. But yeah, I mean the big thing for me is scenarios. I love working on the places you go and visit, the places you interact with, how you interact. So that's my kind of bread and butter
And
kind of stuff.
hopefully see more of that.
Yeah, there's a lot more to come. We're getting to a very exciting time. I can't
say anymore.
Can't say anymore.
Megaship Interactions is a part of that.
This
and
is
I
a
guess
start.
It captures kind of where we want to go with that. And
Yeah, I mean this is the start.
Yeah.
Well, it's a progression of where we want to go. So there'll be a lot more of this sort of stuff coming in future.
Okay, shall we do a giveaway?
Let's do a giveaway. What can I give away?
We're going to give away 2 Celeste Kovas.
Ooh.
So that's the new voice.
That's a new one, isn't it?
That's the new
Cool.
voice that's out.
Groovy.
It's out now without sounding like Ed and trying to plug
Yeah.
the store, but it's out now.
It's out now. Cool. So
what
Celeste.
do you want the chat to say, Steve?
I want to say, tell you what, it's a pirate life for me.
It's a pirate life for me. That's what you need to say in the chat now. And we'll pick 2 winners.
Considering I'm the most unsuccessful pirate Elite has ever known,
I'll go and scope it out.
It's been This is it. This was a recon flight.
just
It's fine. I'm just here to check it out. It's fine. I'm just
Here we go. It's a pirate life for me. There's lots.
Lots of those.
That one, no. We have to do it by the book.
You do.
So I will wait for.
Well, give them a few minutes. And then... Cool. Shall I sign this poster?
Sign this poster.
I'll sign the poster. Well, I'll sign the 2 posters actually. I think. Cool.
And coming up after this, we have Ed and Sandy. Ed has finished his lie down. He's had a nice cup of tea, and he'll be returning to us very soon.
There we go.
Oh,
You've seen me just sat here.
Sorry, I can't hear that. Okay, stop saying it in the chat now. I'm gonna pick a winner. First time doing this, Steve. Picking a winner.
This is it. First time you've given it away.
Right, here we go.
Okay, so random number generator.
Let's go with that.
Boom. What we got?
151. How? Oh.
Yeah. Few
It's
clicks.
very.
This is it. It's very technical.
Mechanical.
I was going to say, here we go.
Radactive lobster. Radactive lobster.
Radactive lobster. Great
message,
game.
Message
Great
this
game.
account, the Elite Dangerous YouTube account, saying you've won, and also email us on community@frontier.co.uk just to confirm you are who you say you are. So drop your email in both those messages. You will on your second anyway, so we know it's you. And the second winner, let's go and do this again. Not far off.
1,
4.
We've got.
Do you want to say that, Steve? How
Right.
how would you say that?
I think that's 6 Oppo.
6 Oppo.
Do Geo.
6 Oppo.
The Geo.
Geo.
I think that's right.
Yeah.
Or it could be 60 Po.
I'm gonna send it in the chat.
Yeah. Congrats.
Congrats on winning the Kovas. You have won. Send us an email to community@frontier.co.uk with your email, and also message this YouTube channel with your YouTube account stating which email you have, so we can sync them up and make sure you are who you say you are. You've won a Kovas Celeste Kovas voice pack. That's very cool. Thanks for joining me, Steve.
No worries. It's always good.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to heading. Yeah, I'll be online tonight.
Yes,
Start playing. So
I think we're all going to be tuning in.
Well, I shall be on. I think I'll be on PS4 tonight. So yeah.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
We might have to try and find each
Try and do this again, but actually bring some limpets.
Well, don't rely on me too much for that, Steve. I'm not sure I'm going to be able.
I'm
to
not
help
sure I
you.
want to scratch my shiny new chieftain. I might have to bring the keel back. In fact, that's a good point. We could take my keel back, and you could be in the fighter doing the distraction.
A lot of faith in me there, putting me in the fighter. That's a lot of faith.
Yeah, fighters are cheap. That's all right.
I see.
Yeah.
I see how
they're disposable. It's fine. It's all good.
Oh, that makes me feel better. So
I'm sorry.
So just a quick notice, we don't have an ETA on when the servers are back up yet.
Nope.
Check our social media channels for the latest news. And you'll see it very soon. We also have a list of streamers on the forums. If you want to check them out when the servers are live, if you want to ask them questions, they are a font of knowledge. So they will be able to help you and provide you with
very entertaining as well.
and they're entertaining as well, which is the upside, as well as the information. So we'll see you very soon, everybody, and Ed will be on next with Sandy, and I'm going to be back soon. Well, I won't be. Well, I will be. Well, you'll see.
Yeah.
Steve's gone. Bye.
Hello, everybody, and we're back. And it's me. It's my face. I have returned. Thank you so much to the wonderful Will Flanagan.
Yeah.
Will Flanagan, a new member of the community team, who has been brought on to do these sorts of streams as well. And just be a good general community manager. And he's doing such a fantastic job, can I say?
He is.
He's on his way back down as well to his desk, so he can't even hear this bit unless there's enough of a delay, and he quickly puts it on and hears it now. So let's stop talking about it really quickly because we don't want to get him too big for his boots. But he's done a really good job. That was one of his first streams on the official channel.
He's a lovely chap.
He's a lovely guy.
And we're lucky to have him.
So we are definitely, and I think we're going to see a lot more of Will. You guys are going to see a lot more of Will. I'm certainly going to see.
Look for the calendar.
Yeah. But it's quite nice. But round of applause for Will. Good guy. Let's stop talking about him because he'll get too excited. All right, Sandy Samarco.
Hello.
Who are you? What do you do? Why do you do it?
I am the lead designer on Elite Dangerous, so they tell me.
So they tell you.
And I look after the game rules and mechanics with an absolutely amazing team.
Team of peeps.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's very good. Good of you. Well done.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had on Lawrence Oldham, the game director.
Yeah.
What does that mean then? If you're the lead designer, what does game director mean to you?
Lawrence is basically the overseer of all things Elite Dangerous.
Okay.
So it's not just the design, but everything. So he has a lot on his plate, and he does a rather spiffing job too.
And he does a good job.
I've got to say that he's my boss. Actually, though, it's okay because it's true.
yeah, it's very lucky. It's nice when your boss is good, isn't it? That
yes.
You can say nice things about him.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
it's nice knowing he's got my back.
I have a similar thing, with Zach Antonacci. He's just my mate, and he's a lovely guy, so it all works out. But that's what I find about working at Frontier Developments. It is this very much autonomous. Autonomous is not the right word.
Automatons.
We're all automatons.
We're automatons, but it's great.
Feelings, but we love it. So
yes.
Sandy, you're here today to talk specifically on this stream about changes coming to 3.0.
Yeah.
Of course, Beyond 3.0 comes out today, ladies and gentlemen. I know most of you here already know this, but let me run through a few things first before we begin. Today, Elite Dangerous, the servers are down right now. We do not have any change to or update to the time that it's going to go back live again, but that's a good thing too. What it means is it's still set for the same time we said earlier. We said 9 hours at about 9:30 this morning, and it's still on that.
This
so
on
you
track.
guys can do the maths, but we're still on track for that time, which is only a few hours, 2 to 3 hours away. 2 to 3, 2. Anyway, doesn't matter.
Sometime today.
It's soon, sometime today. PS4, Xbox One, and PC all at the same time. We're going to be playing Elite Dangerous 3.0 Beyond, which is very, very exciting, including stuff such as we can see in the game right now as well. We've got the Chieftain, we've got Mega Ship interactions, we've got. You're going to touch in a second on engineering crime punishment changes. We've got
planets looking
lovely.
lovely.
We've got trade, tech broker,
Stuff.
many things, lots of stuff coming in, and it's just the start of Elite Dangerous 3.0. So it's the start of Elite Dangerous 3, essentially, which is Elite Dangerous Beyond.
Chapter 1.
Chapter 1. So that insinuates there's going to be more than one chapter. And guess what there is, of course. Building throughout the year, we've got a couple of smaller updates in between this one and then the fourth one.
Yes.
And then the Q4 update, we're saying roughly?
Yes, that's what we're saying at the moment, yeah.
Is arguably even bigger than this one.
It's
vast.
It's bigger.
Yeah,
it's not arguably, it's just bigger.
Yeah, and it's very, very exciting, and we can't wait to talk about that. But today, first of all, let's talk about this update that we're playing today, which of course is
hang on.
Oh,
look, Antonin Levin says, "Acknowledge my existence. I acknowledge your existence. You don't need to say that anymore. You exist. You are real, and you're loved and cared for."
I don't know about that.
So it's all good.
You're loved and cared for, but I don't know if you exist.
Whoa, that's too crazy.
Yeah, I don't know if he exists. I mean, how can we prove that he does or not? Okay, so I'm going to do some playing of the Chieftain in the background, but so there's lots going on. Also, apparently, PayPal currently isn't working on our store, or so I've been told.
Wow.
But we are working on that, and it will be back up.
Yeah. Personally, after this stream, go and do nothing about that, because it's not my remit, but I feel for you.
You do feel for the people who are suffering with that. What else have we got in terms of stuff to talk about? I mean, there's so much going on. here at Frontier Towers. We've got a lot going on, and it's very, very exciting. It's a very exciting time to be an Elite Dangerous player. I want to say a huge thank you to everybody who's watched so far today, but only a couple hours away before people. A couple hours away with caveats, heavily caveated. I think that could change all of a sudden. But,
no ETAs, no guarantees.
No ETAs, no guarantees. I've learned from
no
this guy.
ECM, no SRV.
The beige cowboy himself, Sandro Samarco. One of your sort of pet projects for this time has been to, all right, so 3.0 and beyond has been about going back to the core experience of Elite Dangerous.
It has indeed.
And about sort of going, hey, what needs to be
improved? Yeah, that's literally the core principle of the Beyond series. We're always going to be adding stuff like that, but one of the cool things that we've been allowed to do, and it's been really great for the team, is to go back and look at those systems and features that we've put in the past and say, can we make them better? You know, are there issues that have been raised on various social media, the forums, what have you? Are there elements we look at ourselves and go, that's working, but it could be better? I mean, I'm not going to badmouth the game. I think it's a really good game. Hopefully you guys think it's pretty good as well. But there's always room for improvement, right? There's always room to make things a bit better. So it's really great that as part of the Beyond series of updates, we're getting to look at those core systems and make some, hopefully, fairly important, fairly significant improvements. So, and I think I can just briefly go over a couple of them.
Well, that's what I was going to say. That's what we're going to get to.
So I'm going to very briefly go over.
Go ahead.
2 large systems that are getting quite a significant overhaul: engineering and crime. So I'll start with engineering. Very briefly, engineering. We all know, I'm sure, that it's just a way that you can pimp out your ship. You can make it tougher, faster, stronger, and make it look cooler and be different to everyone else's. The systems that was in place, people did it, but there have been various issues that have kind of dogged it, and so we've got round to saying, you know what, let's listen to what people are saying. Can we improve it? And I think we have. So the main issues that people tended to have with engineering was that you could do a lot of work and get basically no progress. Through chance, bad luck, you could end up with a module that you're trying to upgrade and it wouldn't be upgraded, or it'd be upgraded but in a weird sideways way that actually made it worse. And it's also, it was quite an intensive, slow game loop. So you'd had to get lots of materials to craft and upgrade. Getting the materials could be problematic, could take some time. And then when you got there, you weren't guaranteed of the result that you wanted. So it's something that we've been aware of and we've been thinking about for a long time, and we have made some pretty big changes. So the first one is that we've had this principle of saying we're going to guarantee that you progress when you craft and upgrade, right? For whatever module it is that you've taken to the engineers. That's the linchpin of the whole system. There's no more. You can't get bad crafts. You can only get improvements. There is a range of how much each craft could improve a module, but if you keep plugging away within short order, you will get to the top. All of the negative, as part of that, all of the negative elements that could kick in through engineering, we've codified them as static negative modifiers, so that you know right from the start exactly what you're going to pay, what the cost is in terms of losing ability on a module for all of the gains that you're going to get. And so that's a lot clearer. Again, it's all about legibility and making sure that you progress. So one of the things that this is going to mean, actually, is that more people will be guaranteed to get to the top end of module engineering and upgrading, which is going to be, it's an interesting, almost like a new paradigm for us. So whereas in the old engineering system, you could get a wide disparity of people that put in the same amount of effort. Some people would have much better ships than others. Now it's actually going to, I think, create a much more level playing field at the top end, where everyone, they put the time and will get there. So that's going to be interesting, and I think better for the health of the game. Okay, so we strongly think that's going to be cool. And there's a bunch of other cool things that we're doing to support. And we've had to look at all of the recipes. It wasn't completely compatible with the old engineered blueprints. So we've got this system where you can keep your old blueprints. We never take anything away from you, but we're hoping that you'll want to grandfather them, and by that, we grandfather them. What that means is you can keep them. We're hoping you're actually going to swap over and start engineering them with the new blueprints, because in general the results should be better. And at this point, it's worth the first mention of thanking people on the forums for their support. It's only through your efforts and your efforts and your diligence and testing that we've been able to pick up all of the modules that weren't initially our new blueprints weren't matching to the old ones. So it's been through your efforts that
amazing guys like Mark Allen have been able to go through the blueprints and buff up modules that weren't comparing to the grandfathered ones. So Railguns is a good example. There are a few, probably, there's a few that we know of actually that we still need to address. That will come in an update later on. I know, for example, plasma accelerators, we're still thinking about the ways that we want to make the new blueprints equivalent to the old without matching them directly, because we want to move away from that. And I believe there's also shield generators. At the moment, you can't engineer your ship so you can have smaller shield generators in it that you currently could in the live build. We will address that. But overall, it's hopefully an unqualified good. On top of that, we've got a bunch of things like you can remote engineer. So you can get a blueprint, you can pin it. It will pin all of the blueprints that are available to you for that. All the grades that are available for that blueprint, from 1 to 5 if you've unlocked them all.
As you can see,
and then you can
here, the option is here. This character, I do not have it.
You don't have any pin blueprints, but if you did, you could then go and anywhere there's outfitting, there'll be a contact for engineering, and you can remotely engineer upgrades. So it's all about shortening that long game loop. We've added in per material storage, so there's less worrying and faffing around with, how I got the right materials, do I have to drop some materials to get some materials? So that's all good things. And we've got ignore functionality for collections, so you can tell your collector limits to ignore certain resources, actually commodities as well, so it's good for anyone that smugglers or pirates that don't want to pick up the wrong things. But it's especially good for engineering because it means that you can ignore things that you don't want to collect, be much more efficient at collecting the things that you do want. And we've also got a material trader. So the material trader is great. These are dotted around based on various criteria around the galaxy, around human space, and they'll let you convert materials of one sort to another sort. There is a cost involved, it's never free, but it's to help get over those hurdles where you just absolutely can't, you try and you can't get the material you want. There's a really good chance you'll just be able to use a material trader to kind of overcome blocks like that. So overall, I think a lot of good things. It is a fundamental change to engineering, there's no doubt about it. Hopefully the change should manifest in that it's more accessible, it's cleaner, more legible, and the end result is hopefully more people will do it, right? And get involved. You get really cool ships at the end of it as well.
Well, you touched on thanking the community for their feedback and helping making those changes, but it was quite a fundamental.
Yeah.
There are a few steps throughout the beta, and you'll go into Crime and Punishment in just a second to talk about that. But,
yes.
There are a few things on engineers where it was kind of fundamental changes to the way it works based on feedback, right?
No, absolutely. We wouldn't get as good results if we didn't get the feedback. I mean, that's not even a lie, that's not spin, that's just the way it is. So
true.
Eternally grateful. And in general, people have been very civil, so that's a double bonus. Well done, everyone, right?
It's been very interesting.
Yeah, because this is definitely a hot topic, okay? I mean, we understand that. There have been voices of dissent on all sides, really, all different elements. Everyone's done a really good job, and I'm really quite confident that this is going to be a very significant improvement. Yeah. And I look forward to seeing all these crazy engineered ships out in the wilds, causing me grief.
It's a lot of fun. Before you do move on to can I talk a little bit about the focus feedback forums?
Oh yeah, we're just getting started on them.
Well, so as in, okay, that's what I was going to ask. So we did it with Crime and Punishment, we did it with engineers, but we could argue, and you could say that perhaps there almost wasn't enough time for us to fully make use of those features. However,
that's a really good point.
Going ahead, we're going to be hopefully putting together these focus feedback forums for the other features much further in advance to get your feedback much further in advance, meaning that we can. Well, I mean, I'll let you.
For sure, that's exactly that. So with the focus feedback was something that we wanted to do. I personally wanted to do for quite a long time because I think the feedback that we get is essential. You know, you're the players, you play the game. It's our game. We have to make the calls, but if we don't listen to you, then we're being stupid. And although I am stupid, that's not one of the ways that should ever show. So with chapter 1 of the Bond series, time was very short, and we did cut it right to the quick, as it were. And as you'll hear, I want to talk about crime. We've actually overshot in a couple of elements, which it happens. It's for the greater good, so it's all going to work out. But we're going forward. I'm a lot more hopeful and confident that The future topics that go out there will go out much earlier, so we'll have a lot more time. It'll be much more in the gestation period of the features.
Great.
So we'll get feedback that we can integrate with a lot less pain. You know, it's not to say that we're going to do everything that you want, right?
You still managed to integrate the stuff you asked for, but it was a more painful.
Yeah,
experience
absolutely.
to shove it in
It's a
there.
scary, absolutely. And so we can't guarantee we're going to please everyone as well. But it's the sooner we get the feedback, the less lockdown things are. The easier it is to go. That's a really great idea. Let's get it in. And so going forward, we've got things like squadrons, exploration, mining, a few of the bits and bobs like that.
Oh, and it all
So
sounds
it's gonna be
exciting times,
epic, to say the least.
Can't wait.
So that's focus feedback forum.
I don't believe we have a time frame on that, but sooner than you would think.
I imagine we're talking weeks. Rather than anything else before the first
weeks
one.
Rather than months.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got to get in there because I don't know if people are aware, but that making game is actually a really slow process. It takes a long time for the gears to grind and things to get done. So we have to get in early. The earlier we get in, the better it is.
Yep.
So, crime.
Not weeks before it comes out, but weeks before we start talking.
Yeah. So basically, very soon.
Very, very clear. To be very clear on that, we're going to start talking about it
soon,
with you guys as soon as possible, which is cool. So you'll basically hear. Well, look. Today's 3.0. Let's talk about what's happening today.
Yeah.
Crime and punishment. Go for it.
So crime. This is a big one.
Oh, yeah.
Crime in Elite Dangerous is reasonably thorough and complex. That's the first thing to know. Okay, this isn't a kind of very arcadey game in that sense. It's basically logically thought through to try and match how the real world operates to various degrees. So it does a lot.
It's a simulation game.
Yeah, exactly. Crime is it is a simulation, and the way that we deal with that is that you don't just commit a crime against anyone or everyone. Areas of space are controlled by factions in systems, and those areas are called jurisdictions. And when you're in the jurisdiction of a faction, that faction only cares about certain crimes, and when you commit those crimes, you're committing them against that faction. That's key. That's a key principle to the crime system in Elite. It means that I can go to one faction's jurisdiction, be a real criminal, fly along to another faction's jurisdiction in the same system, and I'm not wanted. They don't care, because the new faction doesn't care what I did in the old faction. They just care that I don't mess around and play shenanigans in their area of space. So it's all about areas of control.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool, right? Because we have it at multiple levels, because we have factions have jurisdictions, and those factions can be aligned to superpowers. Mm-hmm. We've got the Federation, we've got the Empire, and we've got the Alliance. No bias, obviously. And it means that we get to play around with some additional rules that we're going to use even more in terms of not only can you be a criminal against a particular faction, but you can be a criminal for an entire superpower like the Federation. So I'll talk about that in a second. So the way it works is you commit these actions which count as crimes. The faction whose jurisdiction you're in will issue a fine or a bounty against you. This is the way the game currently works. And then if you die and respawn in a starport where that faction controls, that faction controls, you have to pay off these legal costs in as well as the rebuy of your ship. So it worked, but it's fair to say there were quite a few avenues to completely kind of nullify and avoid paying for your crimes. If you docked at a starport and never committed crimes in that starport's the faction that controlled that starport's jurisdiction, you would always respawn there. You would never effectively pay for your crimes. You'd only ever be paying for your rebuy cost. And that's not really what we wanted. So what we wanted was to make there be more consequence for crime. It's not about punishing criminals. Elite is a game that has lots of criminal activities. We like criminals in the game, and it's all, we don't want to stop them being criminals. What we want to make sure is that there is an appropriate consequence for those actions, especially when it comes to interacting with other players, because then the stakes are raised a little. So what we've done is we've done some quite sweeping changes. The first main one to talk about is that bounties and fines are now issued against the ship that you commit the crime in, not you as a commander. At face value, that's actually easier. It's easier to avoid being wanted because you can just switch your ships. But that's actually just an option that we want, because the crime system is a little bit harsher when it kicks in. We want to make sure there are more ways to still kind of play the criminal and make tactical decisions. So when bounties or fines go on a ship, that ship technically becomes hot. So it's wanted in that jurisdiction of the faction that issued the bounty or the fines against it. The big change is that when that ship is destroyed, we now have detention centres. So detention centres are brand new. They're all over human space. There's a lot of them. Even on the, just recently added some in the beta on the highway, one of the highways to Colonia. So there's no avoiding this. When you die for bounties, now you won't go back to the starport where you last docked. You'll instead be dragged to the nearest detention centre where you will have to pay all of the legal costs, all of your bounties, all your fines for that jurisdiction. So there's the added inconvenience of being dragged somewhere where you didn't expect to go. But it just means that there's no more loopholes. You can switch your ships and have your wanted ships stored, but then you're not using them. So you're not getting the benefits, so there's always a cost. So that's a big change. We're also going to do a couple of cool things with detention centres. If other people may have occasionally fallen foul of a faction becoming hostile to them, reputation-wise, and then if you end up spawning at that starport, every time you dock, the starport basically will kill you because you're hostile to it. So what will happen now is we'll use detention centres and allow players to be deported. So if you're ever going to respawn at a starport where you were hostile to the faction, instead you'll be deported to a detention centre. You won't have to pay any fines or bounties, but it clears you from their jurisdiction. They're like saying, go away, we don't like you anymore. But they're not going to instantly kill you.
1 second, Sandy.
Yeah.
Listen to this. So that just a little quick preview of the new Kovas that's in the store as well.
Oh, okay, yeah, there is that, yeah.
Carry on.
Right, so the detention centres, they're going to be pretty cool, and they're really key. We're also going to change the rules. We also will be changing the rules for if you die and you weren't wanted, rather than being catapulted all the way back to the starport where you were last docked. If there is an appropriate starport in the system where you died, where your ship was destroyed, you'll go there instead. So it's a lot more forgiving. So what else have we got? We've got most of the crimes are identical. They will operate in exactly the same way because we didn't want to change the principle of how crime worked. We just wanted to change the execution to make it more robust and have more consequences. However, there is a really big important change that's going to be really interesting to see how this plays out, which is murder. So murder is a really important crime. When you're blowing up a ship and potentially killing the pilot, that's serious. And we've listened to the feedback of people saying it's just there's not enough teeth to that. There's not enough punishment. So what we're doing with murder is that we're inflating the value of the bounty potentially by quite a lot, but we're doing it in quite a cool way. We're adding a new stat for you players called notoriety. Starts at 0. Every time you murder a ship, every time you commit the crime of murder, so not just blowing someone up, it has to be logged as a crime, your notoriety will increase by 1, and it goes up to a maximum of 10. When you are not killing people, notoriety decays slowly over time. I think it's going to launch it will go down a point for every couple of hours in game, so it's not when you're logged out, it's only when you're actually playing the game that it decays. And what does murder mean? Well, the first thing murder does is it pumps up any further murder bounties that you get. So if a bounty is 5,000 for murdering a ship, if you've got a high notoriety, an extra amount is added based on the rebuy cost of your ship. So the more expensive and powerful your ship is, the more the bounty goes up by. And I think it's something like up to about 4% of your rebuy at the top end. So it can end up being quite a large amount. So that's on all murders.
In a desperate attempt to try and murder someone, I've now got my shields. I picked on somebody who's harder than me.
Oh dear.
And so actually I'm not going to be able to demonstrate murder.
You might demonstrate detention centres though.
If
you're wanted.
What type of bounty do you have to have?
Yeah, you're wanted and you're in a jurisdiction that's going to trigger. That's clearly what you were trying to do.
No, it is.
Absolutely. There was nothing else you were trying to do.
I wasn't trying to do murder.
So,
I wouldn't know how.
So bounties are going up through murder, through notoriety when you commit the crime. However, there's an additional amount that the bounty can go up by that's potentially much more significant. So this is when you're killing a ship that has a rebuy cost, such as a player's vessel. So when one commander commits the crime of murder, another commander, what notoriety does is it looks at the rebuy costs of both ships, it compares the difference, and if the difference is the aggressor ship costing more, having a higher rebuy cost, then for every 1 point of notoriety, you'll pay 10% of that difference. So it doesn't take a mathematician to say that if your ship's super expensive and the target vessel that you murder is super, super cheap, you can effectively end up paying pretty much your rebuy cost again as a bounty. So that's quite huge. And this rebuy cost, it looks at base rebuy cost values, so things like founder packages that affect your rebuy value, they don't kick in, it's always the base value. I think it's about 5% base rebuy. It also looks at engineering, so if you've got engineered modules, that will inflate for the purposes of this calculation, it will inflate those costs again. So potentially by quite a lot. So what are we doing this for? Well, it's quite simple. We're doing this because we want to We want to basically make the consequences of SEAL clubbing, that is, taking a very advanced, a powerful ship and just going around and slaughtering noobs around a starter system or very weak ships. We want to disincentivise that. That's something we do want to socially kind of nudge players away from, because it's just not that fun. If a ship starts on you and it's tiny and it commits the crime against you, it's fair game. You can lay waste to it. But if you take a Warconda, a fully pimped out Warconda with a rebuy of like, God knows what, 30 million, 60 million, and you are killing a starter Sidewinder and your ship's engineered, you can expect 30 to 60 million extra on the bounty. So it's a big amount. On the other hand, if you're attacking ships that are more expensive than you, generally speaking more powerful, or more able to defend themselves at least, then this technically won't kick in at all. No. So it's very much a layered penalty. So it's going to be really interesting to see how this works out. And one final word on that is we're going to keep an eye on all these numbers. So it's not like that's it into the wild and then we don't look at it again. If it turns out that the numbers are coming out too high, and the only way to test this is en masse, is in the live game, that's the only way we're going to see how well this is working. But we've got lots of levers to adjust those numbers to bring them back or push them further.
There you go, look, you can see my wanted status there as well in the system. Where would it show my...
You didn't die?
Notoriety. No, I killed him.
Oh, you killed him? Well done. It's in stats, keep going. It's probably in there.
Excuse me.
Your notoriety is 1, you've killed someone. Uh-oh. That means that your next bounty is going to be a little bit more. And if it's against a player, potentially a lot more. So, what are the things we've got to talk about? So very briefly, and again, this is where I want to thank the community again. It's been incredible. So we've got a couple of changes. Oh, actually, before I talk about that, there's one other thing as well, which is more teeth. How do we stop players? How do we actually attack players that are criminals and threaten them with destruction? The answer to that is ATR, Advanced Tactical Responders. These are new ships that are coming in for all of the authorities, get them in their own flavours, depending on whether they're federal, imperial, or alliance, or independent. These only drop in once you've committed a lot of crimes in the system, so they're there effectively to stop people exerting too much influence too quickly in the background simulation, and also to challenge those really, really notorious criminals that have been laying waste to everyone and everything. These ships are deadly. When they drop in, it probably is time to leave. They're not unkillable. Potentially you can kill them. In the beta, I think at least 1 or 2 did get killed. We effectively, though, we've modified them so the ways they got killed probably won't work anymore. They are there not to instantly kill you if you are a super criminal, but they're to challenge you, because that's what, for crime to be interesting, there has to be a chance of it coming to bite you in the backside. So ATR, and they look really cool. They got police lights and everything. So that's going to be like very interesting. And the way they come in is also based on system security as well. So the idea is that higher security systems should feel more policed, low security systems less so. Anarchies are still anarchies, right? Do what you want. So one thing that isn't going to drop straight for launch today, it's going to be coming within a couple of weeks, there's going to be an update that's going to have this stuff in it, is how the kill warrant scanner works, and how what we're now calling super bounties are going to work.
This is important, so I'll stop distracting people with things happening in the background, but I have just been killed, and then I get to choose my options.
And there you are, you've been sent to a detention facility. Where you must pay for your crimes. Cool, so it works, that's good.
So how much more am I paying here than I would usually? My bounties and fines, 5,200, so...
It's working as intended.
It's working as intended?
Yeah, you're paying you have to pay your legal fees, which aren't much amount. You're killing AI and you only killed 1 dude, so it's okay, but you have to pay your rebuy cost, which is huge. Significant, yeah. So, kill warrant scanners.
Thank you.
How do these work? So, it's really interesting, right? The way they're going to launch in 3.0 isn't the way they're going to work in the end. Because the crime system has kind of fundamentally changed in the way bounties are assigned to ships, the kill warrant scanner and the way that you always pay for the bounty that is detected, kill warrant scanners causes a few problems, and we changed it so that they would detect, in addition to the local bounty, the single highest of the bounty on the ship, which was less efficient than the 2.4 build version, which would detect all bounties in your local system and a subset of kind of superpower bounties. So lots of back and forth with the forums.
A lot.
Did a great job.
More than I've
basically
seen
forced us
any other feature.
forced us to take another look at it, and we kept looking at it and kept changing it. We've been through various proposals that had brilliant feedback on them. We thought we were getting quite close. but it wasn't quite working for us, so we started to delve into the code a lot more deeply to see how bounties were generated and what could we do there. Because there was some misinformation as well about kill warrant scanners, and that people thought they got bounties from across everywhere, and they didn't. Actually, it just kind of felt like they did because they were detecting these kind of legacy superpower bounties that didn't quite work properly. They would do odd things with reputation and influence. They weren't assigned to a faction. They just kind of sat there, but they could be detected all over the place. So at the moment, like I say, when it goes live, the kill warrant scanner will work in a not efficient way, but it will work. It will give you extra money. However, in a couple of weeks' time, we're going to update it. And we've looked at all the feedback, and the final rules that we're going to go with the kill warrant scanner are it will detect all system faction bounties everywhere. So we're actually changing the bounty generation system so that ships can have bounties from other factions and other systems on them. So technically you can get the guy who's got bounties all over the place from many, many systems, and you can corner him and catch him, scan him with the kill warrant scanner, claim all those bounties. Because they're proper bounties, they will give you the right amount of reputation, the right amount of influence, the right amount of cash. So they're just good. That's a big buff to the kill warrant scanner right off the bat. But we're going to add another thing, which we talked about in the forums that people seem to like quite a lot, which is if the kill warrant scanner detects a bounty from a faction that shares superpower alignment with the faction that's controlling the current jurisdiction. So if I'm in a jurisdiction controlled by a federal faction, and I use a kill warrant scanner, if I detect a different federal faction's bounty on that ship, what the kill warrant scanner do is it will do exactly what its name says it can do. It will create a warrant for you to attack it at that location. So you can attack it without committing crimes, which is, again, going to be quite significant for bounty hunters when it comes to basically being efficient, not getting crimes on you whilst being able to claim crimes. That's a pretty powerful buff as well. Finally, we're not going to, if you kill warrant scan a ship, we're going to prevent reputation loss unless it's a criminal ship when you attack it, which was something the background simulation manipulators. It was always a bit of a bugbear that you ended up becoming, effectively losing reputation with factions, even though you're trying to do the right thing. So the kill warrant scanner is basically all factions agree that it's a good idea, so they all technically support it. So one of the reasons it's taken us a little bit of time to get to this stage, which I'm hoping is please let me know in the forums if you still think there are issues with this. I think it covers most things quite well, actually. But one of the reasons it was quite difficult was because it wasn't meshing with another feature that we're implementing called interstellar bounties. These are bounties for particular superpowers, proper bounties for superpowers, where once you'd accumulated a certain amount of bounty value from federal factions, they would munge into one big federal bounty.
Which is the word munge?
Munge. Yeah.
Okay.
They just get squashed in, right?
I've never heard that word before.
Yeah, no, well, there it is. You learn something every day. So this was causing some grief with the kill warrant scanner. So what we've done, we're going to hold off putting interstellar bounties in. They're going to come online when the kill warrant scanner gets its final update, again in a couple of weeks.
Couple of weeks' time.
And we're going to change the way they work slightly. So rather than munging faction bounties together, which causes a number of issues to do with the background simulation, and it can get a bit unpleasant in terms of player A looks at player B and sees something different to what player B sees when he looks at his own ship. We're going to revitalise these odd superpower bounties that are already in the game. We're going to fix them so that they actually work with a proper rule set. So you will get federal bounties, imperial bounties, and alliance bounties. They will only be detectable by basic scan in the jurisdiction that's connected to their superpower. So you'll only be able to detect federal bounties in federal space, imperial bounties in imperial space, and so on. This is really good because this is exactly what they're meant to do. They're meant to make you the guy in Star Wars who says, I'm wanted in 12 systems. That if you go into federal space with a federal superpower bounty, it's valid everywhere. And quite nastily, they've got their own value that will keep going up as you commit crimes against federal factions, say, for a federal superpower bounty. But even more nasty, if one of those is detected, all other federal faction bounties will be detected as well. So it paints a big red target on you saying, kill me for lots of money. So the kill warrant scanner won't detect them, and this is why we get nice clean separation. The kill warrant scanner detects all faction bounties for all systems, but superpower bounties, anyone can detect them as long as you are in the jurisdiction of that superpower. So that's why there's a nice clear delineation between the two. Both are very useful. But what these changes mean really is you get to be super notorious, you get to be the super arch criminal, you get more consequences for crimes when you commit them. The consequences are harder to escape, but we do give you more options for dealing with it temporarily because of the the way that it's the ships that get the bounties, not you. And I'm really hopeful that we're giving bounty hunters quite a big buff. It's not the only buff that we've got planned for later on, but right now,
3.0.
Yeah.
I mean, beyond. Is what
Beyond,
I'm
yeah.
beyond.
Chapter X.
Chapter X.
However, for right now, it should mean that...
It's going to be 10 chapters now, Jake. That's a joke.
No,
don't say that.
They won't. It means right now, a bounty hunter using kill rank scanner, when this goes live in a couple of weeks, should just be making more money full stop and being able to claim more bounties and more jurisdictions.
Great.
And it retains all of the elements of chasing someone down and getting them across the other side of the galaxy and hauling them over the coals.
Great stuff.
So there are crime changes. Quite big, quite important. Now, there's a couple of things I haven't mentioned. Ramming and combat logging. The reason I'm not mentioning those is because we're still looking at those. So for ramming, for a start, ramming won't, if you kill someone through ramming, it won't trigger notoriety because that would unfortunately open up more exploits than it fixes. It will still be a crime of murder, but that's all. It'll be like a basic murder crime. That's one thing I didn't say about notoriety. So why is notoriety? The other thing notoriety is really important for is that you can't, a bounty has to be paid off using interstellar factors. Because if you went to try and hand yourself in and pay it at the security office,
like,
what they ought to do is incarcerate you or possibly just shoot you.
Yeah.
Fines you can pay off at the security office. However, once you've got a fine or a bounty on a ship, if you go somewhere and dock somewhere where it's wanted, your ship has to use special anonymising protocols to connect to the starport so you're not detected. And that means that most services are just locked off to you. So again, it's more consequences for being a criminal. It's not insurmountable by any means. If you've got a fine, you pay it off, well, then you can then reconnect normally and the anonymous protocols deactivate and you can get access to all services. It just is a way of saying if you've got a fine on you, it's got more. It's more meaningful than what it used to be, which was basically nothing unless you died and respawned at a starport where it was due. That wasn't enough. So now, anytime you go to a starport to dock there, services will be restricted. Bounties are worse. Bounties now if you've got a bounty, you can dock there, but you just can't get hold of most services. You're just locked off from it. You have to find an interstellar factor if there's a bounty on you for the jurisdiction that owns that starport. So now you go to interstellar factors and they let you clean it for at cost. The interesting point is that interstellar factors can bend the law, they can't really break it. If you're notorious, you're too hot for them to deal with. So you can only use interstellar factors if your notoriety is at 0.
Right.
So that's 20 hours, at notoriety 10, that's 20 hours of gameplay before you can actually clean that ship. And again, that's one of the reasons why we let you swap ships temporarily. Right? So you can basically not use the ship. That's the cost that you pay for however many hours that you've got notoriety for. And then when your notoriety is reached 0, then you can go and get the ship and pay for it. And I'd see in forums there's various people saying, well, that's not a penalty, but it is. It's a very big penalty because you can't use that ship. Or you can use that ship, but you're at risk of being attacked for bounties. It's all part of this kind of loop about what it is to be a criminal. There has to be. We want to make sure there's jeopardy. We want to make sure that it's not basically going to annihilate you. So yes, as Hammer Shadle says, 20 hours game time. You have to be logged in and playing the game.
Logged in and playing the game.
Yeah. Obviously, that's for committing murder. Yeah. So just I want to put everyone's mind at rest. If you're a pirate or a smuggler, these rules really won't touch you hardly at all. Because if you don't murder ships, your notoriety never goes up. You can always use interstellar factors and security contacts to clear your bounties and fines.
Which is,
so
for me,
we've tried to make it we've targeted it hopefully quite well. That it's against. It's the crimes that really count, murder, they're the ones we hit harder, and crimes against seal clubbing, they're the ones we supercharge here.
A task, or you had a big task at hand to do this, to get this nailed.
It's quite large.
And again, not saying that it's nailed exactly now, because of course the smaller things will be tweaked.
There are parameters that we will be changing on live, I assume, based on some of the numbers, absolutely.
But it's been a really interesting process. This seeing the community's feedback, seeing what they said, and then being able to react to it has been quite interesting. Unlike anything really. I think
it's been like other things in the past, but I think we've gone a little bit deeper this time.
Elite has specifically very lucky in that you're able to go back in and make these sort of changes. It's modern game development.
It's really useful. And again, there are a few things that didn't get in, which I'm very hopeful that we will get in the future, like the ability to log crimes but not ask for support by the police, the ability to see the crime security link status of a target ship. These are things that hopefully are coming. They just we couldn't quite squeeze them in now.
Somebody asks, Colin Ford says, how do you know what your notoriety is? We showed it.
Yeah, it's literally you can look at it in your stats page.
Really quickly do that again for you now.
Yeah.
Why not? in stats.
So really looking forward. This is, like I say, the idea was for us here was to not change the principle of how crime works and how jurisdictions work and all the subtleties and complexity of the crime system, but to just make sure, plug up the holes, shore it up so that it was less exploitable, more robust, and basically more logical as well.
Yep. So
it's a bit cleaner. So yeah. So as a side note, things like dormant bounties, fines maturing into bounties, bounties going to legacy fines. That's all gone. Right, it's really simple now. You get a fine, it's a fine, you deal with it. You get a bounty, it's a bounty, you deal with it. There's nothing more to it. So actually, it's a lot better.
Fantastic. So, as if you weren't able to take all that in, and it's
you have to watch it again.
It's going to be hard to get a better description of how things are going to work than from Sandy himself. But if you look on the forums, there is a post that says kind of here's how all of the features will work in 3.0 at launch as of, from today.
Yeah.
There's a sticky post, I think it's in news and updates, that you can read through on there, and that gives a kind of a TLDR sort of.
Yeah.
So a short sort of summary of all those things. Or you can listen back to Sandy talking about it again, or you can just wait and see how it works in the game itself. But it is a complicated thing. It's going to be very interesting to see how the new players or newer players react to these changes that are kind of fundamental.
That's true. We are hopefully getting a tutorial video as well together. To go through this, because it's something we've realised has been lacking, so we want to get that out there at some point in the very near future. Yeah. It is interesting. I think the way to deal with it, if you're a seasoned player, is play the game exactly as you play it. It shouldn't feel that much different, except consequences should be more appropriate. I mean, that was the goal, right? Consequences should be more appropriate for your actions. If you're a minor criminal or a smuggler or a pirate and you don't go around wantonly killing people all the time, it's unlikely going to notice any difference, really, or very little, other than you might be spawning at prison centres, detention centres every now and again. If you're a hardcore thug who likes to murder noobs, technically it should be having a bigger impact, okay? It doesn't stop you doing it, but it means the consequences of doing it are more serious.
And then, of course, there are things. That said, the stuff coming to the Kill Once Ground, not at launch, but in a couple of weeks' time. Actually, that's quite a change to how the Kill
it just improves it. Hopefully, it just improves it across the board, right? Hopefully, there's no doubt there will be no downside of what there is now. There will just be benefits. Oh, it's worth noting as well. I think someone just looked at what about NPCs flying into your line of sight and all that. Because crime is more significant consequences. We've upped the amount of friendly fire that you can deal to a ship before it triggers an assault crime, and we've introduced a new crime at a lower level called reckless weapons discharge, I believe. That will trigger, but that's only a fine. Okay, so that's hopefully we tried to kind of cover all the bases and make sure that no one's going to get caught out too much here.
Great. A couple of things as well. While people are asking questions in the chat, we don't have an ETA. Well, we do. It's not changed since the original ETA, which we gave, which was 9.5 hours of planned downtime for the to be updated to 3.0. It started at 9:30, so I didn't say 9.5. Sorry, 9 hours. So we're looking soon-ish.
Very soon, and I've just noticed another question.
An hour or two, I think, is the initial estimate. It will go live, and we'll let you know on the forums. We'll let you know on Twitter. We'll let you know on any of our platforms.
So I just noticed another question: is the amount that you can claim going up? Yes, it is actually. We set it to 2 million for the beta. I think we need to set it to 5 million per faction. Yes. So you can be able to claim, because the system's more robust. We're allowing people to claim more credits because we know that those credits aren't going to be generated from nothing. So you technically can make quite a lot of money off of players, and when the superpower bounties go in, there'll be more NPCs with them, and they'll be worth a bit more.
Excellent stuff, Sandy. Thank you so much. Is there? I mean, there's we've got a few more minutes of your time.
So skimmer murder? No, skimmers. You don't get murder for skimmers. You only get assault for destroying skimmers and SIVs and fighters. So again, you shouldn't get punished too harshly for that.
I'm sniffling.
It's because you've got the mycoid virus.
I do. It's just honestly, I'm going to.
And now I've probably got the mycoid virus.
I know that's the one that kills the thought there. Okay. I want to say as well. First of all, thank you for coming on. We do these a lot. While I've got everyone's attention, the 3,300 odd people who are in here. First of all, hello. Thanks for coming along.
Yeah, thank you.
Aren't you supposed to be at work?
Yeah.
Basically, thanks for coming along. Yeah, no, I'm glad. Basically, you want to say a huge thank you for coming along, but also that we do these regularly on this channel, so do follow this channel if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. We also do streams daily or every other day at least on twitch.tv/Frontier Developments. We're also going to be communicating a lot with the Focus Feedback forums. We post on our social media channels absolutely every single day when we've got news to communicate. Sandy is always jumping in the forums, chatting with people about the mechanics in the game.
And saying things like murder is murder against clean ships only? Yes, it is. That's what's murder.
Like this. We have the Q&As on the streams as well that we try to do every now and then. We're going to be doing more live streams that focus on behind-the-scenes stuff about how the game is made, like we did with the Discovery Scanner series. We're also going to be doing more of the community engagement stuff as well, such as bringing back an Educating Ed style thing where we jump in with the community events and stuff like that. So I just wanted to while I have your attention, talk through some of those things and say, look, this year it's going to be very exciting with Beyond, and we're absolutely committed to being as communicative with you as we possibly can be.
Yes.
It makes for a better game, it makes for a better playing experience, and a better relationship with
It
people.
does, and I've just noticed something else that I missed before about power play. Just power play bounties are going to be a new thing as well. So if you're a power play ship attacking another power play ship for a power play reason, it won't trigger normal crime. It will trigger power play bounty instead, which only people that are pledged to the right power will be able to see and claim. It's just a way to encourage consensual PvP. And power play NPC ships, I think there's a lot of greater chance that they'll be flying around in wings or with escorts, so that because there's no police to protect them, they'll be able to protect themselves a little bit better as well.
Excellent stuff.
There's probably more bits that I've missed. I've given you the highlights. I'm sure there are nuances that I've not gone through. Read the posts, look at the forums. We will make sure, we try to make sure that we get all this information out. I mean, tutorials, manual update. It's an important time. And the game's what, three and a half? It's insane. Thank you so much for supporting us.
It's really cool.
Utterly amazing.
Somebody asks in the chat really quickly about combat logging. You did cover that earlier, Sandy, sort of. You said that things are still being done.
There's something in process, but it's not. We're not ready to talk about it just yet.
So before we go, let's do. Well, first, look, you could talk forever, so we'll stop you. Because we're going to do a little roundup, because we are actually going to stop streaming at 5 p.m. That doesn't mean that things are going to go live. It just means that there's certain things that you should do in the office to make sure that the release goes smoothly. So we're going to be closing at 5 p.m. But we do have another giveaway. Which we need to get people saying some stuff in the chat. I mean, people have already put the ghosts.
The ghosts are awesome, right?
The ghosts in there. I don't know how easy it is for people to copy and paste the ghosts. But what would you like people to say in the chat?
I want them to say. I want to say something quite specific.
Go on.
I want them to say, "I fought the law and the law won."
I fought the law and the law won.
Yeah.
And if you want to throw some ghosts in there for fun, why not?
Ghosts, melons.
What are you going to win?
Creatures.
What are you going to win?
What are you going to win? We won't you tell me because I have no idea. What are you going to win?
Question. It is, I believe, the Icarus paint job pack.
What?
Which I haven't even seen myself yet until this very moment. So just give me 1 second. I believe it's this one. He looks around.
If only you could see what I've seen with your eyes. Only they're not your eyes, because this isn't Blade Runner.
Don't do it. Okay, sort by date. Don't point at things and say what like that. Here it is. All right, we got it here. This one, this page. Look at this.
Oh my gosh.
Oh
my goodness.
Of course. And it looks very fancy. Very fancy indeed. So we'll pick 2 at random to win the Fed Corvette. Not the Fed Corvette, you won that. The paint job pack.
Woo!
But that does look lovely, doesn't it?
You my favourite deputy. Yeah, that's pretty fantastic.
All right, so stop. They do look cool, don't they?
I think the law has won enough. Surely.
Yeah, so stop saying it now. Once you say it once, I'll pick 2
because
to
there's a
win.
little love heart in there. Oh, that's so cute.
Could you sign that poster for me, please?
I'm going to sign the poster.
You've got sign the 2 posters.
I'm going to sign the 2 posters.
I'm going to be giving those away, so I'm going to hold them up to the screen.
Can I sign them in anyone's name?
Pass them to me. No, you should sign them in your own name, please.
Is that true?
And then you could pass that to me so I can show it up on the screen. That would be lovely.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Oh, if there's any, hopefully there's not too much reflection. Here you go, look. Been signed by every guest that we've had on today, or the developer's guest on. So basically we've got 2 of these to give away. Ooh, very nice. And maybe I'll get a couple of the other devs.
No, it's just like docking. No.
Oh, you've gone mad. All right, I think we've crashed the chat, which is fantastic.
What's wrong with the word munge?
No one's ever heard that word before.
Well, I've heard it. Why don't you just tell us that you've heard the word munge?
It's literally crashed, which is great. I hope that we're still going. We'll never know because the chat has stopped. I thought the...
Yeah. Look at that. So you could have just typed "I thought" anything you wanted.
Well, don't give away.
It's not a word. Oh, okay.
It's not a word.
Let's make it a word. Let's make.
Stop saying it now. Once you said it once. And we have. Okay. What? No. Look at that. The random number generator came out with that number, and it was the number I was on.
What?
No, I don't believe that's
Ghost?
true. That can't be true.
Well, who is it?
Yeah. Well, we'll give. Yeah, we have to.
Well, that's the number that came up. I watched the number generator being generated.
Okay, well, it was Commander Meeseeks. Commander Meeseeks.
Where's that?
Which is there.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
Commander Meeseeks with ME3SE3KS.
Oh, Lee speak.
Well done, Commander Meeseeks.
Well done,
For
congratulations.
being randomly chosen.
Yeah.
You have won. You won this, which is a lovely
Boom
pack of
Shanker.
which are available in the store right now. So if you didn't win, go and pick them up. Well, you might be the second person to win, which is gotta do the clicking, gotta do the clicking, gotta do the clicking, gotta do the clicking.
What are you doing? Is 2 people winning?
No, so, yeah, 2 people winning.
Oh my goodness.
The next random
My
number is
goodness,
there.
Gideon. Do it, let's see it.
I'm going to say this on the stream. But it is a naughty name, and you should change it on YouTube. It is Hippocrap. So
Hippocrap? No,
it's is it a play on Hippocrat? Hippocratic?
No, I think it's just a hippo and taking a dump or
Hippo
something.
space crap. All right, well done.
Hippo
You
space
win.
crap.
Hippo
That's
space-
probably more appropriate.
Hippo space crap. What you guys need to do is email community@frontier.co.uk with well, first of all, the paint job pack that you won. So you say in the subject line, I won the Icarus paint job pack. Include your Frontier Store email address, the Frontier Store email address you use to log into the store, so then we can add it to your account. Then also PM us from your YouTube account to this YouTube account that you're watching this on, so we can verify that it's you that's taking this. There you go. And everybody else, I'm afraid you didn't win. I do apologise. We've got these last 2 things to give away in just a moment. Just take a break, but we're going to come back with me and Will in just a moment to sort of summarise things and just say a hello and a thank you and do all that lovely thanking and stuff like that.
Well done,
but
Ed.
it isn't far off now.
Well done. You're
I'm about
in,
to
and
die.
you're
I'm about
you're
to die.
doing pretty well.
Well, thank you, and so are you for being here. Thanks
Well,
again.
well, thank you very much.
Well, you know how it is. It's definitely not a word. It's definitely not a word.
Apparently, it's computer jargon.
Is it really?
Well, that's what
and it
Elite
means
Dangerous
like just
says.
shove it into.
Well, they're saying mum.
Will change a piece of data or a file. A mund. Oh. Thanks, Elite Dangerous.
Get ready, right? Crime, engineering, all this stuff, planetary colour.
Very exciting, isn't it? 3.0 very soon. Elite Dangerous
Stuff.
Beyond.
There's so much stuff. It's insane.
Yeah,
it's going to be pretty cool.
Right, we'll be back in a few minutes' time with some more. Well, just the sort of last 10 minutes to give away these posters and say thank you to everybody who's come along. So we'll be back in just a second. Thank you, Sandy.
It's my
Thank you to
pleasure.
everyone so far, and we'll be back in a second.
Thank you. Bye.
Hello, everybody. We're back, and now there's just the two of us. We've got you all to ourselves.
You're
and
ours
we
now.
can tell you what we really think about you.
Is this the bit where we get to be silly?
This is the bit.
More
No, Will,
silly.
we must be very serious and stop it.
I'm sorry.
Hi,
I'm sorry.
everyone.
Hi.
Welcome back. This is Will Flanagan, and I'm Edward Lewis. This is Will Flanagan, and I'm Edward Lewis. We are part of the community management team here at Frontier Developments, and we just thought we would come on as a last little hurrah to say thank you, everybody, so far,
Yes.
for everything that you do in the community. It has been an incredible 3 years, and let's make no mistake. I will have a lemsip after this, don't worry. Make no mistake that this is... I saw it in the chat. This is 3.0. This is a big deal. Going back and being able to look at Elite Dangerous and see what needed to be sort of gone back and had an extra look at has been an absolute privilege for the development team. So it's very, very exciting that 3.0 is coming very, very soon, within the next couple of hours, I'm told. So do... well, get excited for that because it's gonna be good.
I'm excited for that.
I'm excited for it too. What's some of the stuff that you're excited about with
We have a shared point on that. I think it is the engineering.
We do indeed.
I did dabble a bit of it with my Asp Explorer shortly before this update. Well, before this update, and now I get to just jump into it even more and do more of it, and maybe start looking at it not just for my getting my jump range up, but also looking at weapons and stuff as we're going through the combat.
On an Asp Explorer?
Not on an Asp, but on other ships, yeah. Being able to kind of tailor my weapons and engineer those a bit, and kind of getting stuck into it. So that is a big part for me.
Yeah, and it certainly is for me as well. I'm very excited to jump into give engineers a proper go, because I have done it with, like you say, jump range and things like that. Again, classics. But also to get stuck in with things like the tech broker. I can't wait for the chieftain, and also I'm very, very excited about what this first update means for what we can then do going ahead in the following chapters for Elite Dangerous. This is just chapter 1. Think about what we've got coming up. Sandy came on before and said it's even bigger. Like the one at the end of all this is going to be even bigger than the one that comes out now. So it's just tremendous, and I'm very excited. And get those shots in. Excited. Please don't go that. I like to take these moments to say thank you to everybody in the community for being here on this amazing journey with us so far. You are incredibly supportive and incredibly passionate, and it is an absolute privilege to be able to work with a community like yourselves and be part of the community like yourselves. Yeah. Will here is new.
2 months.
2 months new, and it feels already like you're fitting right in.
How
do you feel when you've been introduced to the community? How do you feel about the Elite Dangerous community based on other communities that you've worked with previously?
Well, just seeing after I did my first update ceremonial stream with 3,000 people watching, which is quite scary for me. I was quite nervous, but also really excited to show you who I was and kind of introduce myself to some of you out there who don't know who I am. And then seeing all the comments after, like, I really like Will's half beard. I really like that he's trying to get a beard. That's awesome. I really love that stuff. I'm glad you noticed. It's hard work.
Well, mine's a half beard too.
I've been trying to get this grown for years. Anyway, no, they're very welcoming. They're very keen as well. They share all their ideas, be it about the game or be it about events and stuff, and that's great. And as some of the live streamers out there will know, I've also been getting in touch with you guys, and you're doing a great job. You're doing a lot of effort to just not only show off the game but really enjoy the game and getting involved with it, and it's wonderful. So yeah,
it's a super
rambling a bit there.
It's exactly right. It's exactly what we like about the community, and it's been as the community management team as well, because we brought on the devs today. We brought on Chris Gregory to talk about art, Sandy Samarco to talk about design. We have Eddie and Adam to talk about production. But like I say, there's a lot that goes into making this possible. You look at the creative services guys who make all the logos for us. They made that amazing cinematic short that we talked about. A lot of the stuff behind the scenes that goes on that you just don't see. We have QA, of course, who are absolutely incredible. And right now, those are the guys who are creating the build, making it work, making it able to go out on time. We have customer service guys who are absolutely just just incredible at what they do, and they're constantly having their praises sung on Reddit and on the forums and stuff for being really attentive, and it's because they're so good at what they do. We're very privileged to work at Frontier Developments on these games, and we hope that you continue to stay on this awesome journey with us. As part of the community management team, we're privileged to basically be the people who get to sit on these live streams and talk to you directly. Because we get to represent such an awesome team of people. So from the bottom of my heart as well, like 3.5 years of doing this now, it's so cool that we can keep doing this. I'm not leaving. I'm just getting emotional because I'm a bit sick and I've been on Lent.
You just need a little blanket,
That's what
nice some marshmallows.
I just need a hug from the community. Now,
give him a hug, everybody. Give him a virtual
hug. No, I don't know. I suppose why I'm getting into this is because I don't want to play. I don't want anyone to play down how much of a big moment this is. It's 3.0.
Yeah, it is a big moment.
And for me, who's been here since the end of the Kickstarter, it's super exciting. And I say that speaking on behalf of the hundreds of people who are working on it.
Yeah, and coming into Frontier at a time like now, for me, it's amazing because it's this, I haven't been here to see the history of Elite Dangerous, but coming in now and seeing what such a monumental kind of update that's only like the beginning of more to come.
Yeah, to come throughout.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
it's awesome
really
stuff.
Yeah, it's great. I didn't plan to get into this, but anyway, thank you. You're all wonderful, and keep being wonderful throughout the year. Let's give some more stuff away. Let's give this away.
What are we going to give away?
These are going to be given away right now. What should we say? Get people saying. I think it should just be, "We love Elite Dangerous."
We love,
and that includes us as well. So we love Elite Dangerous. Just put it in the chat.
You can win this great new signed poster.
Great. Fantastic. Wonderful.
Look at this.
It's not new. We've been giving this away for 2 years. We have, actually. But it is great.
We love Elite Dangerous.
We love Elite Dangerous. Put it in the chat. Oh my gosh, there it is. And I'll pick 2 people at random, and they will be sent
orange
these
that we're
in the
seeing
post.
right now.
Yeah.
It's a lot of
so, as well as that, I think I haven't been given an update at all, but I believe that means it hasn't changed.
It hasn't. I've been
we're
down
still
there.
on for, I think we said, I'm going to say a time. I'm going to say it. Roughly 6 p.m.
You think 6 p.m? Okay.
Oh, hold on. I've got some notifications on my
We'll
cellular
just look
device.
at our cellular devices.
To check and see if we've got any. No, we do not have. No updates, which means it's a good thing. We have nobody telling us, "Oh, don't say nothing."
If it's okay with you, Ed, I'm just going to stay up here and play the build here. This, at least get a bit of...
But then you're going to get your progress. So
chieftain practice in.
Chieftain practice. All right, stop saying it. Once you've said it once, we're going to pick a winner, and then we're going to roll the cinematic short again. Roll the cinematic short.
It.
What I mean is...
I thought you were just going to say roll the dice.
Roll the dice. So start saying, let's pick 2 winners now, Will. Let's pick 2 winners now.
That one.
No, that's not
that
how
one
that
there.
works. That which one?
That one there.
I can't see which one you're pointing at.
Just there, that one.
There?
That one.
This one?
That one there.
This one over here?
Yeah, there.
Look, all of these
Got hair in my eye.
All of these people here have won. All of them.
It's that one. Pick that one.
I'm not going to pick that one. I'm going to do a random number generator between 1 and that number there. Go. Okay. Oh, gosh.
Oh, no.
Oh, and that's because I haven't typed in yet.
Yeah.
We love... Yes. And I knew that's how you felt all along, by the way. It's all right, don't worry. We got it.
Oh, yeah.
Clicking all the way to 87. OMSG. HMSG. Well done. You are the winner of one of these. So what we need you to do is email community@frontier.co.uk with your address, and we will send it to you. Don't worry, it's a very safe email that only 4 of us have access to. 2 of them are right here. 2 of those people are right here.
That's us
we
too.
also have... just hiding in the corners over there. We also need you to PM us from your personal YouTube account, this one that you're on right now, to our YouTube account, so then we can verify that it's you, so then we aren't just sending it to a random stranger. And then we're going to give away a second one of these, so let's do the again, which is do the thing. All right. Oh, God.
Why?
Yeah, all the way around. It's okay, don't worry. It'll go round. Trust me.
Been doing this clicking business a long time.
I've been doing a really inefficient way of selecting winners for a very long time. Well, it's not working.
I knew. Oh.
No, it is. See? I've gone too far. I knew. Don't doubt me. There you go. That's fine. Wait.
It's that one there.
No,
that one.
it's not. It's that one.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Heartbreak 1. HARTBREAK 1. Loves Elite Dangerous. So he says we. I think he's referring to himself, or herself, unless they have multiple personalities.
The words we put in their mouth to win.
All right, stop saying. All right, thanks guys, and there you go. Same again. PM from your YouTube account to this YouTube account, and also community@frontier.co.uk with your details and get in touch with us. So there you go, and that's it. Any news for the downtime? No, like I said, possibly perhaps around about another hour. Estimated, so it could go on a little longer than that, but currently we're still saying 6 PM. If you keep an eye on our social media channels and on the forum, we will update with the time when that goes live, but also you'll know about it because the game will just suddenly...
And we'll all scream about it. We're like, yeah!
Ah! And you'll hear the screams all the way from wherever you are from Frontier's excited Frontier Towers. All right.
Towers.
Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Will, for coming on and
thank you, Ed, for hosting as well. The hosts don't often, get the thank. They have to do the thanks, but thanks.
I get thanked all the time. I get thanked too much.
Yeah, you do actually.
You know what? We didn't get a representative on from audio team today. I've just realised.
No, they do great. They do great work.
They get too much love, don't they?
They do. They're always getting the love.
They don't deserve any more love.
The sounds are so cool. Yeah.
All right. So take it easy, everyone at home. And I hope that you really enjoy tonight. If you need someone if you want to watch people playing it, there is actually, well, go ahead.
There's a thread on general discussions on the Elite Dangerous forums with a list of live streamers who are putting on shows with set times. Some of those times are, of course, subject to change. They're the times that were given to me or the times that I extracted from the internet. But go and check them out. There's loads of great people there. If you're new to Elite Dangerous, they'll give you loads of advice and also hopefully entertain you as well. So go and check them out.
Yeah, if you want a TLDR sort of summary of what's going in terms of features in 3.0 as well, there's also a forum post about that, sticky forum post in the news and updates or news and bulletins. And that gives you a list of all the features that are coming in 3.0. And also we've got the changelog in there as well, which is a vast list of all the improvements that have been made behind the scenes, all the bug fixes and all those kinds of things as well.
Yes.
So have a look through that if you've got the time over this next hour. And also, before we do go, one last little thank you, and that is, well, two thank yous. One is thank you to Paige and the other moderators.
Team
I've seen Jessica Sonnet in there all afternoon, so thank you so much. And any of the moderator teams, I think whoever's manning Elite Dangerous, it might be Brett Cooper, but I'm not entirely sure. But unless it's Paige on 2 accounts,
she's got like 5 computers.
Got 5
and she's like.
Yeah, that's terrible. All right, but yeah, thanks guys, and thank you everyone for being part. I've got an itchy arm right here, little itchy hand.
Where there?
Over there.
Just there.
There. Can you not see what I'm pointing to?
Yeah, it's there.
It's there. All right. Thanks everyone. And everywhere it is also Paige. Paige is being very sneaky with 2 accounts. See you all soon. Last thank you to the community.
Have fun.
Have fun
tonight.
That's what it's all about in the end, isn't it? It's about fun.
Yeah.
It's about fun in the end.
Yeah,
we can say all this stuff about like emotions and hugs, but it's all about playing a game in the end.
Go and have fun.
Just have fun. Hey, don't let us stop you. Let's watch this video. Have a good time. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
That was too close. Tarrant, Davis, get those scouts off me.
Roger that, Commander.
I'll handle the interceptor. All right, let's see what you got. Oh, that's not great.
Incoming call from router.
Lena, I trust I haven't caught you at a bad time.
Always got time for you, Ramta. Dig up anything interesting lately?
People dig for me these days, Commander. In fact, I might have something interesting for you. Something suited to your unique talents.
Don't have much time for archaeology these days. I'm kind of busy.
Shame. The past can teach us so much about the present. And my research into the Guardians has uncovered some fascinating finds. But it's the potential technological applications that will interest you. Applications that might help you level the field a little.
Like weapons?
Indeed. All I ask is that you unearth a few dusty old relics for me. It will certainly be safer than fighting Thargoids.
Okay, Ram. You've got my attention. If I do it, I can have my pick of your new toys.
That's right.
All right. Count me in.
Oh, I'm delighted to hear it. Now, when I said it wouldn't be dangerous,